10 o'clock.
We be live.
We be live. How's it going, Armin?
Good. How are you? I missed you last
week. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. Last week it was such a short notice. I just had to go somewhere all of a sudden. It was totally unplanned, so I couldn't make it. But yes. Thank you. I felt like after a very long time, like I'm calling in sick. Hey boss, sorry I can't make it. And I'm like, hang on, how do I would also need to prove to him that I legitimately have to go somewhere. But then I thought, no, hang on, F off.
Wait, I wasn't even talking with you, and you were having a fight with me without me even saying anything. Okay. People in the chat are saying it. Oh.
I watched the show, and thank you for actually for letting it run on my channel too, because I generated some revenue even when I wasn't even there. So it wasn't bad.
I left some of the Patron questions that were specific to you for this week.
Right. Okay. Well, unless the issue is too old, I'm happy to discuss.
But before we discuss the Patron questions, you sent me a video on Twitter that I wanted to share.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about it now? Okay.
Yeah, because I haven't seen woke related stuff for a while. Like, we have been distracted. I thought the wokeism died or
it's
something.
It's dying. Look, wokeism. I've always said it. Yeah, I've always said that wokeism is just a temporary phenomenon because it's so stupid. For like the video that you're about to show you, it's just so freaking stupid that is just not sustainable. It's just not going to work. So we can't. We should be concerned about wokeism. We should laugh at them. We should, like if you go to a zoo and you see monkeys and you throw them peanuts at them, it's kind of like that. But and just use it for your entertainment. But it's not going to be civilizational shattering event in our history. I genuinely don't believe that. But conservatives like to present it to you. My favorite one is like Putin. You know what Putin and Putin's fanboys and fangirls have been saying? They've been saying, oh, the West is busy with them, they pronouns and wokeism. Therefore, we're going to win the war because we're the alpha males. And look what's happening to them.
I think wokeism was a secret master plan of liberals. Okay, they wanted to portray a weak side of the West. And then Putin will think like, oh, look at these idiots. Hey, Vidu is here.
Vidu's here.
Vidu! Hey! Oh my God, look at this.
How's it going? We've been having these crazy bants, Armin and myself, and I thought, like, Vidu's been away for a while. He's had a hiatus, so he might be itching to just come back and talk about stuff. And why not just did I try to send you this message last time as well? Maybe Okay, but you didn't respond at that point. Fair enough. It's fine. But even now, I just sent you a message like 10 minutes before the show started, and I was like, he might actually, because I actually miss you. I actually miss you every time we're talking. I'm like, man, we can actually, if Vidu was here, we could use a bit of his humor as well. So. Yeah,
listen, I really just want to say thank you for having me on, man. I really miss you guys, and I'm always itching to get back into it, but I've just been so busy with life and stuff. But I'm happy to jump on these kinds of live streams where I don't have to organize everything or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm glad to be here, bro. Thanks for having me.
That's great. That's awesome.
That's what we do. That's what we do. I don't plan anything. I don't do anything. I mean, I do that for my Sunday scoop. But for this one, I put everything on Armin, and poor Armin collects everything. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's just do it. By the way, those of you who don't know, this guy below us is a legend, Vidu Vids, and he's been away for a while. I'm pretty sure a lot of people,
you should just come hang out with us every week here.
I reckon you should.
Yeah. Well, I've got some time free from work. Otherwise, this is during the middle of the day. That's how I normally working or something like that.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But maybe we could make an if you'd be interested, we could probably make an exception as well. Like even doing weekdays or something, just once a week. Anyway, so we were talking about wokeism, and Armin, you've got this video for us. So this is how stupid wokeism can be, but I still believe that it is just a temporary problem, and it's not this crazy, stupid, wokeist ideas. They're not going to stay here for long. Conservatives like to tell us that, oh, like if you don't put your faith in us, then wokes are going to take over the world. That's not going to happen. But we're going to keep saying stupid things like this.
And as stupid as wokeism is, conservatives,
that was there was
yeah, there were
far worse.
Yeah, okay. But let's listen to this one. It's pretty good. Let me know if you have idea when I play.
With gratitude,
Yeah, we've got audio.
the students of the University of Minnesota Twin Cities Medical School class of 2026 stand here today among our friends, families, peers, mentors, and communities who have supported us in reaching this milestone. Our institution is located on Dakota land. Today, many indigenous people throughout the state, including Dakota and Ojibwe, call the Twin Cities home. We also recognize this acknowledgement is not enough. We commit to uprooting the legacy and perpetuation of structural violence deeply embedded within the healthcare system. We recognize inequities built by past and present traumas rooted in white supremacy, colonialism, the gender binary, ableism, and all forms of oppression. As we enter this profession with opportunity for growth, we commit to promoting a culture of anti-racism, listening, and amplifying voices for positive change. We pledge to honor all indigenous ways of healing that have been historically marginalized by Western medicine. Knowing that health is intimately connected to our environment, we commit to healing our planet and communities. We vow to embrace our role as community members and strive to embody cultural humility. We promise to continue restoring trust in the medical system and fulfilling our responsibilities as educators and advocates. We commit to collaborating with social, political, and additional systems to advance health equity. We will learn from the scientific innovations made before us and pledge to advance and share this knowledge with peers and neighbors. We recognize the importance of being in community with and advocating for those we serve.
All right, let's be fair. I don't know, Vidu, you heard it. So what people are taking out of this is that, hang on a second, are you saying, because for example, I think he said something like, we honor all indigenous ways of healing that have been historically marginalized by Western medicine and to fight white supremacy, colonialism. So hang on a second. So science is science, yeah? We've heard this. We've always heard this. Whether you're Chinese or Indian or German or French or American, science is science. If it works, it works. And if it works here, it would work on any other part of the continent. So Minnesota, I think Dakota, they were talking about. So, okay, they're honoring obviously the legacy of white colonialism and all that kind of crap. But now they're saying, okay, because these guys are doctors, they're saying, okay, we also have marginalized the traditional medical practices. So what do you mean by we have marginalized this? So should we just make it mainstream? Should we say, okay, if you've got cancer, why don't you bring that plant over there that so-and-so person told us?
Let's just dance around a fire.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just dance around a fire. So
how?
I mean, I'm trying to be okay. We can be respectful. We can say, hey, oh, this is so beautiful, but I'm sorry, it doesn't work. So if you want to live, what did Arnold Schwarzenegger say? If you want to come with me, if you want to live. So go to the hospital if you want to live. So what do you think? I mean, are we being too harsh here?
No, I think we should start talking to animals and do a Pocahontas and speak to the trees and speak to something like that. And then my ancestors will come down and say, the reason why you have a cancer is because you haven't eaten any frogs today. So I think that's the kind of scientific approach we should adopt. That we need to put on Pocahontas, put that as part of the center of your curriculum to connect with the indigenous medical science. I think that's what we should do. I'll be honest with you, if you didn't tell me what this was, I genuinely would have thought this is a church and that they're repenting for the original sin, because this is what it sounds like, right? We were talking about the conservatives are crazy, but now the secular left has become, they've adopted the same paradigm of original sin, and the white supremacy is the original sin, and we have to repent and crucify ourselves, and we suck, and all this kind of crap. And this is it. They've culturally cuckolded themselves by whipping themselves and crucifying themselves. And listen, I've got nothing against indigenous cultures or whatever it was, but the fact is, as far as I'm aware, right, they weren't at the cutting edge of medical science or medical technology, whatever it was. So why pretend like they were? Because they were talking to wolves and shit. So it's bollocks, complete bollocks. It's just another way to flagellate yourself.
But isn't that?
Wait.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think that you've been hard. You're like, are we being too harsh? I think every single one of these people, every single one of them, should lose their license to medicine.
Yeah.
Like, this is not just. This is, wokeism supposed to be funny. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
This will cost lives. Like, people will die because of this. This is dangerous. How are these medical students? It's either.
Could you believe, like, you go into a doctor and he's like, "What's your illness?" Oh, this 1 second. Let me consult my ancestor. Like, what do you want? Let me go dance around a tree.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
I mean, even if they legitimize, like, let's say a patient comes, right, and they say, like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do to get better, right? Like, and the patient says that, well, actually, according to our, I don't know, Chinese or whatever, like, tradition, this is what we're supposed to do. And a doctor that is supposed to do their job is supposed to maybe hit the patient in the head or, like, you stupid, right? Right?
And then maybe kill the patient, not from cancer, but from the freaking blood trauma to the head.
But somebody that has read this oath would say, I respect that. And they could kill a patient by saying that.
It gets worse when kids are involved. It gets worse when kids are involved.
Yeah.
Are you going to respect the parents?
I just want to know how far are they going to go in recognizing indigenous cultures and all that kind of crap? Are they going to start doing exorcism and jinn? You know, when we do our jinn treatment, are they going to recognize that as well?
Yes.
So, the reason why you have cancer is not because of cancer, because there's a jinn inside of you.
Yeah.
So we have to.
No, you should do a Western tradition, exorcism. Is it just like non-Western traditions, or also Western mumbo jumbo? What about the Catholic Church? They should respect that as well. Absolutely, I bet you it's the Chinese tradition, but not the Catholic tradition.
Exactly. So I honestly find this kind of attitude. I mean, it's funny in the beginning, but then afterwards, when they start, like you said, using this in like medicine and this kind of stuff, then it's like, oh my god, where have you guys gone to, man? Seriously.
What's that? Is that Jehovah's Witnesses where they don't allow blood transfusion?
Yeah, they don't.
I've seen some TV shows and stuff where they're just like, oh, they're begging the parents, oh, please allow this. This is going to. Doctors are begging the parents to please let us do this. We don't want to infringe on your religious rights or whatever. That's only one problem. But now imagine the can of worms you're going to open now. Hindus would be like, no, I want to treat him with cow urine. Muslims would be like, no, I want to treat him with camel urine. They're going to dance around bonfires. They're going to freaking want tiger bones. Chinese people are going to.
Listen. I believe what Darwin said: survival of the fittest. If they want to treat themselves like that, then they won't be here for long. I'm joking. Yeah, calm down. You're so sensitive, man. Oh my god, you guys are
maybe we are. We're also a little bit woke.
Fleeing off the street.
We're woke in the sense that we're trying to not lose our channel. So that's
exactly. In case you missed out, some of these words can be picked out. Yes.
Darwin, you're cancelled. Look at
this one. Erectile dysfunction. It's a general.
I just got hold
of
it. Nope.
I thought it was the other way. I thought gins around you is the reason why you get horny. I thought it works
No. So here's the thing, yeah. So erectile dysfunction. You're some ethnic person in Vegas or some Western city, and you say, and there are these kind of doctors around there, yeah. Doctors like, you're like an emergency doctor. I don't know. I'm like really getting really depressed because of this problem that I have. But in my culture, a young woman is brought to the patient, and she's supposed to play with it, and that's how you get rid of it. Oh, yes, of course, we respect it. Jenny, she's the youngest one. She's the prettiest one. She'll come and do this. I'm just saying, you can make this crap up. is just so bad. Like this, where are you going to draw the line?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think Armin is right. These people, if they have taken this oath or whatever it is, they should lose their medical license because God knows what they could justify with their practices or whatever this kind of nonsense is.
I think Armin, as you said, like the sad part is it's actually dangerous. The lives involved.
Wouldn't like if you have a kid wouldn't you want to know the doctor that is seeing it has taken an oath like this? Like you probably
exactly.
want to know. Yeah.
No, I agree. Absolutely.
All right, let's go to our Patreon questions. Okay?
Right.
Glad you're both here because this is like you guys have better answers for this than I do. Okay, first Patreon question. What would be the best way to support ex-Muslims in Pakistan and promote a general rise in secularizing the country, ideally without triggering mass conspiracies and cries of Western imperialism?
That's always going to happen. The bigger the movement gets, the more these claims of that this is Western imperialism, American agents, these corrupt CIA dollars coming in. That's just natural. How much work, and it's not just Pakistan. It's every culture when the indigenous elements are challenged, they always come up with these conspiracy theories. Like, I mean, as you guys know, like I hear some of the worst these conspiracy theories from India. Like, I mean, they're genuinely people out there. They've been saying about me for a while that Harris is an ISI agent. But now they're genuinely people believe that. They're actually people who genuinely believe that, and they're like some people who used to listen to me and something. They're like, oh no, like I watched this video and they had lots of evidence against you. I don't know what that evidence is, but I reckon it's always going to work. So it doesn't matter what others think. You just keep doing your thing. In my opinion, whatever we're doing, keep doing that. We are seeing this rise of secular values and principles and atheism in Pakistan. I mean, if you go to fair enough, like I might be in my own echo chamber as well. If you go to Twitter Spaces or something, like I'm shocked to see that people from all over Pakistan and the diaspora, Pakistan diaspora as well, they are just so openly talking about atheism, and if not talking about atheism, then at least criticizing certain like patriarchal elements that stem from Islam. So I reckon we're just gonna, the only way is just keep doing what we're doing, and slowly it's just gonna get bigger.
Can I ask just a question? Because I know what's happening in Iran with the whole hijab, and usually I remember when the thing happened with the Iranian, the revolution, 79, whatever it was, that had a knock-on effect. They had a knock-on effect in Pakistan because we obviously were neighbors. So then he kind of doubled down on his thing. He's like, well, if they're doing it, we're doing it as well. I don't know if there's been any sort of backlash in Pakistan, like, oh, people are rebelling against hijab. Is there something equivalent happening in Pakistan to be like?
I know it's happening. I know a lot of Afghani women are protesting in support of Iranian women, which is amazing. Like they are dealing with their own issues. I know also in Afghanistan first, when the protest started, issued a statement to Iranian government saying to stop mistreating your women.
Are you serious?
Yeah, wow. Afghanistan issued a statement to Iran's government to treat women better.
He's like, why are you letting them out in the first place? He's like, yeah.
and now, even more recently, they came out with a statement to Afghanis in Iran saying Iran is not safe anymore. You have to come home.
Wow, look at this. That is jokes. That is jokes. Who would have thought that the Taliban's going to troll the Iranians? They're literally trolling them. They're like, keep your women in check. This is what happens when you give them a bit of freedom.
No, right? They weren't saying keeping them in check. They were like, you're mistreating them. That's what they were saying. Like, they were mistreating them too harsh.
You're burdening them with freedom. They can't make these decisions for themselves. Okay? Yeah. Don't wear hijab. Just stay at home. Oh, my goodness.
But I don't know. What do you think it's going to happen? Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't think, no, it's not having any impact in Pakistan as well. Like, I mean, if you go through YouTube, Twitter trends, I've seen mixed reactions from people where people are saying, yeah, this is what happens when you force religion down people's throats, or then the other side is saying, yeah, so what? This is American conspiracy, etc. Even so, like people like Oriam Guljan, etc. as well. Even they acknowledge that, okay, this is what happens when you force a religion down people's throats against their wishes. But yeah, I think it's more likely you're more likely to get a similar reaction from Afghanistan, because like Pakistan is a confused country. They're not Islamic like Iran or Saudi Arabia, and even Saudi Arabia and Iran are very different, obviously. Not just Sunni and Shia part, but also one's a kingship and the other one's proto whatever kind of a theocracy. So Afghanistan is probably a better example because they enforce burqa, niqab, hijab, whatever, through force. Whereas in Pakistan, it's not mandatory, it's not forced.
But it's socially kind of like...
It's socially...
You don't wear hijab, but don't wear miniskirt. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, and if you don't wear hijabs, then you're also considered like, oh, this woman has low morals or whatever. Yeah. So
what's the evidence? What's the evidence they have that you're an agent?
Oh no! Like I for example, I once said like, oh, I know people. Like I know some people. I speak to people in Pakistan military. They're like, oh yeah. Look, I know people in Pakistan military. I know people in Indian military. I know people in Imran Khan's party. I know people in Nawaz Sharif's party. Does that mean like?
Isn't every like second person in the military in Pakistan anyway? Like, wouldn't everybody know that there's somebody from the military?
Not necessarily. Well, I do. Of course, like I do have. I think my one of my cousins who used to be in the Air Force. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but like because of what I do, I get to know people now. Like as journalists would know a lot of people. Like why
are you being accused of being part of Pakistan's military? That means you're understood.
Because they want to discredit you. They just want to malign you.
Wouldn't that increase your credit? Like that would be amazing.
I don't know. Look, to be honest, I don't care. Like I just.
You're expecting conspiracy theories to be logical. You're expecting like I don't think they work like that, man.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. But it's like yeah, well, whatever.
Well, you should roll with it. You should just go be like, yeah. Just be like, you should be like, you know what? Be careful how you treat me. I know people.
I know.
Yeah. I reckon. Yeah. Look, a lot of these. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. True. You're probably right. I'm like, yeah, I'm an ISI agent. Like, just say it 50 million times. I'm an ISI agent. I'm an ISI agent.
No, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
They're gonna clip this out. They're gonna clip this video out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because. No, but I think even if you say it directly, it doesn't, because I used to say that, because we've said it. Yeah, how many times we've said it? Always Zionist agents, but just take them Mickey out of it so much that they actually don't see any. That runs out of steam. The claim runs out of steam. So
you know what you should do? You should get somebody from Pakistan, okay, to send you threats, okay, and then threaten him by the connections that you have in Pakistan, and then they get that guy to come and make another video begging for you to stop, okay? And they're like, okay, I'm gonna stop now, and then that would like, make
too much trouble. Too much trouble. Too much trouble.
All right. Next question. Let's go to the next question. Do you think Imran Khan damaged Pakistan's relationship with the United States? Does Sharif have what it takes to fix it?
Oh, do you think that Imran Khan's damaged? Well, yeah, he definitely did damage it, but I think this is why the United States knows that it's just Imran Khan, and the others are not like that. Traditionally, Nawaz Sharif or even Pakistan's People's Party. So yeah, but it's always been a client-master kind of a relationship. So the US knows. So they probably did send that. There was this now infamous cipher. So the US probably it was made clear by the US that they were not happy with Imran Khan, and the message was subliminally. A message was sent to the Pakistan military that, hey, look, we're not happy with this dude. Okay, we're waiting for this guy to be ousted and then someone else to come in. And who else would come? Obviously, Nawaz Sharif and whatever the PDM was. So that's what Imran Khan's conspiracy theory is like. But it's not that far-fetched. American diplomats can make those kind of statements. So if they did do it, then it means that they were obviously hoping for the placement to be better than what Imran Khan is. So yeah, I think it's just it's business as usual. I think so. I don't think it's gonna matter much.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think, Vidu? Do you have any views?
No, I think what he said is correct. That Pakistan is one of those kind of what do you call it? Like a thorn in their paw. It's just one of those annoying kind of countries that you kind of have to deal with, but you can't. You're not strong enough to go in there and just take over. But at the same time, you have to pretend to be polite to them and that kind of stuff, and give them money and be like, okay, well done, boy. Imran Khan was coming up with some very brave statements against the United States. So I suppose it was only a matter of time before they were like, yeah, we're done with this guy. But can I say that from what he said, that it was Biden that got rid of him, right? That Biden was like, okay, but he was very cool with Trump, right? He was very cool with Trump.
Very cool.
I just want to say to all those people who say Trump's a racist, Trump's a this, Trump's a that, right? It wasn't your boy Trump that got rid of Imran Khan. It was Biden, the Democrat, the left wing, the blah, 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 blah. So big up Trump. Big up my boy Trump. He doesn't get enough respect on his name.
I mean, getting rid of Imran Khan is like a good thing. I mean, I don't know, actually. Do you guys really believe that Biden had a major impact in getting rid of him? Like, had a direct involvement?
No, so here's how it works, yeah? So we all know Pakistan military, they're the kingmakers there, yeah? So they're the ones who have all the power. So they go, okay. And this is not a conspiracy theory. If deep state had any picture, then you would have put Pakistan's flag on it. Military decides who comes to power, who gets out of power, etc. So there was this communication that was sent by Donald Lu, who's an American diplomat, to Pakistani ambassador, that hey, sorry, Vidu, I think I muted you. Okay, so Donald Lu said that hey, look, we don't want this. We're not happy. We're just waiting for the vote of no confidence to come. So you can have a vote of no confidence on Imran Khan, and then he's out. So that's just a subliminal message. They're not doing it. They're not actually going door to door to Pakistani MPAs and MNAs and members of National Assembly that hey, here's $1 million, here's $1 million, and then now oust, vote against Imran Khan in the parliament. No, they're not doing that. They've just sent a message to Pakistan Army that hey, it would be better. We would like you more if this guy was not in charge. So that's all they needed. So what happened? And then, okay, the Pakistan military, they go like, okay, all right. So a joint coalition was formed called PDM, with the Nawaz Sharif's party, traditional rival late Benazir Bhutto's party, Pakistan People's Party. They all got together, which before Imran Khan were at each other's throats, like the ones, that's like Democrats and Republicans joining hands to oust Imran Khan. It's like, well, hang on a second, what's going on here? So they got together, and then they cast this vote of no confidence. They ousted Imran Khan, and Imran Khan's been crying ever since. Hey, look, Donald Lu, he's the one. He got me out. So that's basically what happened, and it's not that far-fetched, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and why do you think the United States doesn't want Imran Khan in charge?
Oh, because he's an idiot. Imran Khan is actually an idiot. He went to Ukraine, Putin. And apparently, and this is according to Imran Khan's own admission, he's saying that, we were going to get cheaper oil from Russia, 60% cheaper, 40% cheaper. Obviously, the United States would not be happy because on the day Imran Khan landed there, Ukraine was invaded. And then he was forced to condemn Russia. He refused to condemn Russia. And as soon as Imran Khan was ousted...
India buys oil from Russia. India didn't condemn Russia, and nobody...
India's too big.
India's
too big. India's got like $500 billion.
So here's the criticism you have of the United States. India gets to practice its democracy without a United States intervention because they're too powerful, but Pakistanis can't have the prime minister they want because United States could just like push them around. You
could argue, but you could also argue this way that, hang on a second, if you want our support, if you want our aid, if you want our financial packages, then at least stand with us on our principles. Our principle is that there's a mad dictator called Vladimir Putin who's getting greedy and he wants to annex 20% of Ukraine into his own country. At least stand with us and say, no, this is wrong. So the West can demand that as well.
It's true. It's true. As sad as it is and as whatever unfair as it is, if you take their money, then you got to play their game. You can't take their money and not play their game. You know.
Yeah.
And the point I want to highlight is that Imran Khan. So as soon as Imran Khan was ousted, the very next day, Pakistan's military chief, General Bajwa, came out and he said, our traditional allies, United States, we condemn Russia for invading Ukraine. That it doesn't get any clearer than that. That was the last. That was the final straw that broke Imran Khan's back.
Pakistan is a lot like Iran in that sense that you have an actual, like you have the democracy part is just for show. You yeah. Okay.
Look, I mean, no. So okay, so have a look at this. Could what's your president's name? Iran's president's name? Raisi. Could Raisi do or say anything against Khamenei?
No.
Okay. So, but Imran Khan was clearly going against what the military was trying to dictate to him. Yeah.
Right.
So the prime minister can do and say things. So he did do this. He did go to Ukraine. He was building this narrative, this anti-West sentiment, and Imran Khan was doing it. So the military was sometimes okay with it. Sometimes they were not happy because some of some of the audios were leaked later on.
If we had somebody like Imran Khan in Iran doing mass protests and like openly against the regime or the military, he would have been executed by now.
Yeah. So it's not kind of like Iran, but this is why I call Pakistan a proto-democracy. So it is a proto-democracy.
Yeah, relative to Iran, which is not at all a democracy. That's a good explanation.
Oh, by the way, so the Americans did actually threaten India as well. They did say, there could be some sort of sanctions, etc. But obviously, as I said, India is just way too big. India is way too powerful, and I still reckon though. On India's part, India is going to need the West against China. Yeah. So India is the largest secular democracy. The world would look at. Naturally, the world would ally themselves with India, but India, for some reason, under Modi, they want to be different. They're like, yeah, hang on, we are a secular democracy, but hang on, we have this other ancient whatever that is.
Yeah,
so this is why they always tend to be different.
Just to be fair to Modi, Modi is not taking Russia's side. Modi is was trying to play both sides, right?
Yeah.
Mutual, both sides, and it was working. Yeah. It's working well for them. Cheap oil prices and all. Until recently, now they're like pushing back against Russia. Okay, because for multiple reasons. One, because Russia is embarrassing now to support Russia over all the defeats they're having. Also, because Russia is could potentially be normalizing the use of nukes, which India hates. India really hates the normalization of the use of nuclear weapons.
Even China doesn't want it. China doesn't want it. Because, you're right. So this is why I would say that, hang on a second. So why would you be neutral initially only when you're going to be embarrassed later on and say, oh, hang on. Okay, now we're on the West side. Putin, please don't do this. But I reckon it might end up really well. I actually just dropped a video on my History with Sultan channel. Those of you who don't know, do check it out. And I collected some old news reports and I just presented my idea or whatever. But I genuinely think that maybe it might turn out to be a good decision that China and India were on Putin's side, or at least pretending to be neutral, because now Putin knows that if he goes crazy, if he goes nuclear, then even China and India don't. He's going to have nothing. So I think it might be a good thing. But either way, I don't think there would be a nuclear war. But anyway,
no, tactical nuclear there might be.
No, not even that. I don't think so. Because I think the West has this nuclear saber rattling has actually backfired on Putin. Because it's in Zelensky's interest. Zelensky's trying to convince the world, hey, he's coming with these nukes. Mm-hmm. So help me. He wants to drag everyone else in this war. And Putin doesn't want anyone else in the war. Putin is like, but Putin doesn't have any choice. He's like, well, hang on a second. I mean, you're still giving them weapons against my armies, which is very effective. But if you explicitly jump in the war, get involved in this war, then I've got nothing left. Then he would have to press nukes, and even tactical nukes. They're not gonna. I've been listening to a lot of these military experts, and they say it's not going to do anything other than just killing 1,000 people or 10,000 people. It's not going to do anything.
No, it's not going to be as devastating, but it does like the main problem with using tactical nukes is the normalization of using of nukes, not the amount of damage it does. Because
so no, but I'm saying also, even normalizing, but you could argue that okay, well, if they do it, then what's going to happen? Putin would also have two things in mind. First of all, Zelensky would succeed in bringing NATO and the US directly in this conflict. So David Petraeus said it. He said,
China and India will go directly towards the West as well.
Exactly, and as I said, like other than being trigger happy and having an outburst of emotions that I'm going to punish you because you've been destroying my armies, it's going to achieve absolutely nothing unless he wants to go full nuclear. Then we're all screwed. Actually, I might be all right in Australia. Australia and New Zealand might be the last countries to get destroyed. Yeah.
Did you guys see Kiev being bombed using Iranian drones by Russia?
Yeah. So the shot. I think there were 24 Iranian drones. And look at Iran. What a pariah! Look, surprise, surprise. If it's not Iran, it's freaking North Korea. This is why I'm saying anyone going with Russia. Like I know India and China. They stayed neutral, but I'm sorry, neutrality here means you're complicit in it, so you're on their side. I mean, look at the company of countries Putin is in bed with. I mean, it's just
how embarrassing for you to claim that you're a superpower, and now you're forced to buy weapons from Iran and North Korea. Like this is Russia is supposed to be a superpower where other people are desperate to get weapons from. Like they are being reduced to this low that they don't have enough weapons, and they're going begging Iran for drones so that they could bomb Kiev.
No, they're even saying that the kind of precision conventional these precision cruise missiles that Russia used to punish Ukraine. I think in Kiev and 12 other cities they dropped these indiscriminate bombing, and just the only purpose was just to kill as many people as possible. But if anything, like it just increases the morale of the Ukrainian people. They say, okay, all right, you're going to come after us, and we're going to defend our country. It's just not working for Putin any which way. It's just not going for him. It's just only a matter of time, and it's all gonna,
We got a super chat from Xi Jinping saying Andrew Tate praised Putin last month. Your views on him?
Yeah, he's an idiot. Like I saw that video, and he was like, oh, let me tell you something. I think Putin is the most misunderstood person. Yeah, okay, Andrew Tate. Well, how about you tell us about 5 years that you spent with him? How about we learn that from you? This guy, Andrew Tate, is such a clown that on one hand, he's always shitting on the system. And then on the other hand, while they live in the system, they thrive under the system. Okay, fair enough. I mean, you can talk about mad capitalism, the difference between the rich and the poor is increasing, blah, blah, blah. We get it, okay? We get it. This is the best system we've got. Sure, come up with your, Nobel Prize in economics theory, and then maybe we'll say, okay, all right, Andrew Tate, you've come up with a better. But other than that, these guys just come up with conspiracy theories. But not only that, I just don't get it. And they take this 180-degree turn, and they start fanboying people like Putin. Who's next? Who's the next champion of the world, or the best human being on earth? Kim Jong-un. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he stands up against the evil West. I mean, what are these people? Putin is the most misunderstood person. I say this way, yeah? The way you can talk shit about the West while you're living in these Western countries, go say anything. Go to North Korea, go to China, go to Russia. We'll never hear anything back. I mean, I respect Edward Snowden. I respect Julian Assange for what they did. But look, Edward Snowden, and I get it. If I was in his shoes, I probably would have done the same thing. But we haven't said anything about this war, and rightfully so. What would happen if he said anything against Putin? What would happen? But the beauty of this system is that everyone likes to shit on is that you can live within the system, and we can shit on Biden. We can shit on who's your prime minister these days? You guys just go through them faster than I go through my own.
Oh, Liz Truss.
Liz Truss, yes. And oh, actually, we do the same here in Australia as well. Who's our prime minister?
Yeah.
No, Bill Shorten is his name. Yeah, yeah. So we can say anything we want. I can speak for Putin as well, and nothing will happen to me. There's this massive fangirl, Putin fangirl. Her name is Sumira Khan or something, Pakistani but American born. She has a thing for some alpha Chechen guys or something, and I showed that tweet. She's the one who actually popularized this this meme where she says, "Oh, NATO and American tanks are coming in defense of Ukraine," and they were all colored like in LGBTQ colors, and they're like, "Oh, they're busy with that," and then they showed big macho Chechen and Russian men with green tanks or whatever. I was like, and then soon they started getting destroyed, and then people started trolling them back and like, wars were.
Wars were.
Yeah, but these guys are just so stupid. Yeah, wokeism as bad as it is, but the conservatism or sucking off, these dictators is not the answer. It's not the solution. Sorry, rant over.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. 100%.
Well, Vidu, what's your views on Andrew Tate?
He is someone who's very smart, and when he decides to, he can play both. He can butter both sides of the bread, right? So let me give you an example. This guy, he keeps saying, "I made my money from cam girls, OnlyFans. I've got 20 girls. I go through them like whatever it is." He made his money from gambling, casinos, all this stuff, right? At the same time, he goes, "The only religion I respect for is Islam." Hang on. You do realize everything you made if he was in an Islamic country, right? He would be executed. He would be dead. Yes. He goes, "I've got a lot of respect."
But how is that smart? That's idiotic. That's stupid.
Right?
No, but he's fooling people. No, but he's fooling. He's smart in fooling people. He's not logically consistent.
No,
he knows this.
You guys are doing a Trump thing where the guy keeps saying stupid things, and you guys thinking like he's playing 4D chess. Maybe he's just an idiot.
No, I really think he's smart because obviously I watched some of his videos. Like, no, I think he's smart, but his followers aren't that smart. So he doesn't need to be super smart. He doesn't need to be consistent because as long as
how is he smart? I've listened to his videos. He seems like an idiot to me. Maybe
you
get it. This is the smartest guy in the room. The smartest guy in the room appears like a clown.
Or maybe he
is a clown. The jester in the court doesn't sit there with glasses and a lab coat, right? He's there making fun of everyone, and he's the butt of all the jokes. But he knows that if at any moment he can pull the rug from the king's throne.
This is a non-falsifiable claim.
Well, no, actually, no, it's not. Because if he was truly that dumb, I don't think he would have made it to this far. I don't think he would have.
Oh no, that's not true. That's not true.
How?
People don't. The main. One of the main characteristics you need to make it in this, like, especially when you're doing entertainment and content, is confidence. Okay, not necessarily the smarts. Like you need to be a good salesperson. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a different theory on that.
He's very articulate. He knows which buttons to push. Let me give you an example.
But so, even when he's being serious, like if you see what he's saying, if you analyze him, he makes no sense. He makes 5 fallacies in half a second.
That's fine. Let me give you an example, right? And I was like, you're right. I was like, maybe he is stupid. Like, but then I realized, no, he knows which crowd he's playing to. So when he was on a podcast, I think he was with a Muslim guy. I don't know. Maybe he was. I don't know. And he was saying the guy gave him a Quran, right? And he's like, "Oh, thank you so much, brother," and this and that. I'll read it. I'll respect all this, suck him, right? Okay, fine. And then he was on the Alex Jones show, subhanallah. And then he was criticizing the wokeism and the bad immigration policy, and he's like, your capital cities aren't even your capital cities anymore because they're full of people that aren't even from there. They don't respect the culture. So the same. So you see what I'm saying? Okay. That's what I'm saying. He's inconsistent, but he knows which crowd he's playing to. He knows that if I say
that's not inconsistent. That's both conservative. No, Muslims believe in the same thing.
But Muslims are the native people in the. That's what he was saying.
No. You have to.
Muslims are the immigrants.
In Western countries, you have to separate the liberal Muslims, the so-called liberal Muslim, and the conservative Muslims. Okay, the conservative Muslims are agree with the conservatives in the United States and Europe. They're okay with like limitations and tougher borders and protecting your own. And these are you're looking. But I'm just saying
But he is saying your capitals, like, I don't know if you remember, like, there was this thing some years ago, this comedian, John Cleese, English comedian, he was like, I walked through London and where's the English people? Like, it's just basically just like brown and black, mostly brown, right? Like Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Indians, right? And
like Muslims like Daniel Haqiqatjou, okay, maybe Muslims like Linda Sarsour don't agree with that, okay? But Muslims like Daniel Haqiqatjou agree with that. They want to step into an Islamic country and they want to see everybody looking like they're Muslim. They want, like, if they, you know what I mean? Like their understanding. Their understanding of a Muslim society is where men are wearing the beard and they're wearing their Islamic, and women are wearing their hijab, and everybody looks like they belong. So it's not to go and say like, oh, this doesn't look like England.
I agree.
You think that's against Muslim views? Actually, conservative Muslims agree with that.
You're misunderstanding. That's exactly what I'm saying. When he was on the Alex Jones show,
but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know what?
He doesn't know that this is the consistency between the conservative views. He's just a conservative.
No, he would. He's going on the Alex Jones show to say, look, our capital cities are overrun with immigrants or other people. They're not even our cities anymore.
He just this is nothing original. He just like...
I know, but I'm saying he would say one thing to a Muslim and say, your religion is the best. You guys are solid. Your brotherhood. You're this. You know how to treat a woman. This and the other. And then you go to Alex Jones and say, our cities are overrun with these guys, and they're not.
So he's a good pretender. He's a good pretender.
Yeah.
Clever.
Okay,
he's a good liar. So he's
a liar. So
of course.
That's not praiseworthy.
No,
I'm not saying.
He's not. Okay, so here's my thing. Yeah. So here's my thing, yeah. People say that, Trump is an idiot. I even said that Andrew Tate is an idiot. I said it in my disgust, not necessarily that he's stupid, his IQ is very low. No, not in that sense. He's very clever. I get that. People make this common mistake, and I get that. Confidence is one of those things that you need in order to make it. But there's so many other elements at play as well. You can never say that, this person just got where he is just because he's confident. We see these populist leaders, Imran Khan, Trump. I mean, anyone who thinks Trump is an idiot, that person who thinks that is a bigger idiot than Trump, if Trump ever was an idiot, because he's not an idiot. Trump is not an idiot. Let me finish my point. So these people get it. They know how to preach to the choir. They know how to tell these lies and what audience wants to hear what. Even being a bullshitter is a skill. Yes, of course. Yes. It's not praiseworthy. We're not going to say. I'm not going to say.
In something, you can be a good bullshitter and an idiot in almost everything else.
Yeah,
I agree that Trump is a good bullshitter. I agree that Andrew Tate is a good bullshitter. That's their skill. But that doesn't mean they're smart. They could be an idiot in almost everything else. But that one skill, being a good bullshitter, is one of the main skills you need to make it. Being a good
exactly. I agree with you.
I'm so confused. You're almost saying because someone is quote unquote evil or dishonest, they can't be smart.
No.
He's dishonest, so he can't be smart. No, he's smart and he's dishonest.
No, these are independent from each other.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm not saying one because of the other. I'm saying
smart, but they're also dishonest.
Okay, they might be smart at one thing, on how to bullshit people. Okay,
and they made a lot of money. You can't bullshit like he was dealing with mafia people.
I'm not saying. What did I say otherwise? Did I say otherwise?
So then he's smart in more than one thing.
No. Being a good bullshitter could bring you a lot of money.
Listen, he made. He's like chess ranking is pretty high. He's like a legit kickboxer. He made a lot of money on OnlyFans.
But he's also an idiot when it comes to making. He's also an idiot when he hasn't made a single argument that has good premises backed up by good reasoning with a good conclusion.
He doesn't care about
one
that.
Time. I don't either. Well, okay, that makes to me that's how I identify.
Okay. How about that? Someone can create a really bad argument and sell it to millions of people.
I'm telling you that he's good at that. Okay, these people keep throwing shit at wall, and they're good at noticing what sticks. Okay, and they
that's good.
Keep doing what sticks, and they make when they do that.
In my book, if he was just doing it out of his own gullibility, I would say, okay, he's stupid. But he's calculated about that. He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
I'll give you another
When it
example. The
comes to-
Rock.
when it comes to tricking people, okay, they're good at it. Okay. When it
I
comes
mean,
to
I get your
lying,
point,
they're
but
good
listen
at
to
it.
this point.
Allah.
Look at The Rock, yeah? I mean, if somebody just asks you, oh, are you going to run for president? He goes like, nah, I just want to be the best daddy, but it didn't rule it out. So maybe in
Bollocks.
2040 he would.
Best daddy.
Yeah, anyway. So anyway, but have you ever seen him take a stand for anything other than just when last time Biden versus Trump? That was the only time when he took a stand and he supported Biden. But that's the only time. He shakes hands with MBS. He would do, and he would take these.
He was doing tequila shots with MBS.
Yeah, and
then he was afterwards. He was doing tequila, and then he did a Facebook post saying, "Oh, I had a great time with MBS. Next time I'll bring the tequila." And then they realized, don't say that kind of shit out.
Yeah,
they deleted it.
Yeah. So okay, there you go. So he knows. Is Rock an idiot? No, he knows what can be said, what can't be said, and he's just being totally apolitical, and he's taking his photos with kids with Down syndrome. He's going to the hospitals and everything, and now all of a sudden he's become the best candidate for president.
We're disagreeing on the guys. These people are good.
I'm telling you. I think we made the point. I think we made a point, but I think we're
and I'm not sure what the disagreement is. The guy has one skill, and that's like bullshitting.
But that doesn't fall. That doesn't fall. That would not fall if you can fool millions of people. If you can fool them, then that's not a trait of an idiot.
No. You're looking at it as black and white. You could be smart at one thing and an idiot at almost everything else. These two are not mutually.
That's neither here nor there, Armin.
That's neither here. Yeah, you're fence sitting, man.
He's
not an idiot.
No.
Overall, I would say overall he's not an idiot.
The guy cannot make any logical arguments. Okay.
Okay, Armin.
In my book, if in your book, guys, if in your book somebody that is good at conning people is smart, okay. Your definition of smart, the guy is smart. Okay.
No.
In my book, somebody that could actually make a legitimate argument for something and back it up with like evidence or sound reasoning. In my book, that's what I call somebody who is smart. Okay. Based on your definition, based on what you consider admire as smart, he's very smart.
That's not admiring. That's not admiration.
When I think of a smart person, that comes to my mind, and based on how I see smart people, he's an idiot.
Okay. Let me ask you.
So we're working with different definitions.
Okay, we are. And then you said he's smart on one thing and he's stupid at, like he's dumb at everything else. Fine. How many things does someone have to be smart at for you to consider them smart? And where do you get this definition from?
No, this is subjective definition. I'm just telling you what comes to my mind. Okay, I agree with you guys that based on different definitions, you could be smart or dumb. Okay, but what comes to my mind when I think of somebody smart is somebody that when I have a conversation with, he lines up his reasoning and he comes up with a good logical structure of how he comes about and the evidence to back it up, and he comes up with a conclusion. I can see it makes sense, and then I respect. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. You convinced me, or even if you don't convince me, it seems pretty solid. Okay, that's a person that does that very effectively. To my mind, when I think of somebody smart, that's what I come.
Yeah, but he's not a philosopher.
As somebody I know, I'm just telling you what comes to my mind when I think of somebody smart. Okay,
all right,
and Andrew Tate is the farthest thing from that.
Look, I mean, if there are 10 things that make someone smart, and then the 0 is an absolute idiot who lacks all these 10 things. So you can, so if he lacks all of them, that's an idiot. If he has even one of those things, one of the 10 traits, then you can't call him an idiot at least. Okay, you may not call him smart, but you can't call him an idiot. So if he has one thing that is fooling and bullshitting people.
No, listen to this. I know somebody, okay, that is a surgeon, okay, and a respected scholar, okay, right? He's smart, okay, in those fields, okay. He thought 9/11 was an inside job.
Obviously. I'm joking. Calm down. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna time out.
He was already the what? So you got Alex Jones in a panel?
And in that respect, I think he's an idiot. He's an idiot in that respect, in that field.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, of course.
So you can't be like, just because he's smart at something, then he's not you can't call him an idiot. No, I can. I'm like, in this field, in this area, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, look, that's fair enough. I mean, I think the better term to describe him would be he is dangerous.
I honestly think
no. Look, I mean, I seriously despise these people who just make a name for themselves by just being anti-West, by just this system, that matrix, or red pill, blue pill bullshit, and there's all 9/11 inside job and all
to be
that.
contrarian. It's always been vogue to be contrarian. To be
but look, but who popularized it? Yeah, but who popularized it? Alex Jones. Moon landing is a hoax. You know how bad it is.
No, he didn't say that. He just said the moon landing is a hoax. He actually believes the moon landing.
Alex Jones. I don't know about that, but I'm just talking about these conspiracy theories. I don't know about Alex Jones was just next level crap. I wouldn't be surprised if Sandy Hook and all, but not just that. He actually interviewed Hamid Gul once. I used to listen to him. Hamid Gul, the DGISI,
I don't hang out with your ISI friends because I'm not an ISI agent, so I don't know. I don't get invited.
Hamid Gul was very popular, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, I reckon let's just move on. But Andrew Tate is an idiot.
Yeah, because he's only smart in one thing. I'm not gonna. I'm busting your balls.
You're just bullshitting people.
All right. Next Patron question. If the Islamic Republic of Iran regime topples, could Iran become the next Syria? How likely is that? Given by the way, this next Syria meaning that it will be chaos and civil war.
I don't think so.
How likely is that? Given the presence of pre-existing separatist movement, how worried should we be about the possibility, not to mention the support from Russia and China? This is not to play into racist tropes that the regime exploits to be extra brutal to border provinces, but to acknowledge their existence and how they could evolve. What do you guys think?
Leave that on.
I don't think Iran would have a fall like Syria. I just don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. It's not that. Iranians aren't like Arabs. I know this is gonna sound racist, but I don't think. I don't think they're like. Listen, I'm married to an Arab. I have a part Arab baby. Okay, I'm not being racist. Okay. I just don't think they're culture like them. I really don't think. This is again coming off as ignorant and as whatever, but it's my gut feeling. I don't think so.
Okay. If you're talking about Iranian culture, because a lot of Iranians try to use that card, or like they say exactly the same thing. Oh, those are just Arabs. We have superior culture, and that's not going to happen to us. Okay.
Yeah.
However, if you were going based on Iranian culture, the Islamic Revolution of 1979 shouldn't even have happened.
It was an anomaly.
Okay, well then we could have another anomaly.
But then it wouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. It's like if you look at the pattern of Arab states for the last 100 years, it's nothing. Like if, for example, actually, I don't want to go into that thingy. But let's say, for example, okay, I might as well. Palestine gain independence.
Ooh.
Do we? No, hang on. Forget about Israel.
I'm fine. I don't care.
If they did, do you think that they would turn out any different to any other Arab state? No, because they have the same beliefs, the same culture, the same everything. There will be exactly the same level of dysfunction and violence.
If anything, they would actually be 100 years. No, but they would actually start from scratch, and they would be more brutal initially because other countries have evolved.
Thank you. So I don't think Iran is like that. I think they're a bit different. If you look at Iran didn't start the Iraq war. Iraq did it against them. They weren't the aggressor. Right? You can correct me from. I don't think that they.
Yeah,
they weren't the aggressor both times.
They weren't the aggressor, but they had the chance to stop the war, and they doubled down.
Fair enough, but they didn't start it at least, right? So I do think.
I don't want to defend Khomeini for some reason. It feels icky, but go on.
Yeah, so I don't think that they are like that. I think there is some more civilized. They are slightly more civilized or have advanced more from a civilizational point of view. And it's
the same guy. Okay, this is not fair. The same guy that didn't start the war in Iraq executed 30,000 people for being leftist. Okay. Khomeini for being leftist and infidels in 1 year. 30,000 people. Well,
he obviously used the opportunity to get rid of people he didn't like, obviously.
But that's like, you're like, oh, look at Iranian culture. Khomeini didn't start the war. You're talking about the guy who executed 30,000.
I'm not defending Khomeini because it's not about.
I know, but you're talking. But the person that didn't start the war is that guy. Is that Iranian guy?
Yeah, but I'm not basing it simply on him. I'm not saying Iran is now Khomeini.
Yeah, I think he's talking about Iran in general. Like, I mean, if let's just say if we minus the Khamenei regime and this Islamic part,
Show some respect.
if we just minus that, then the greater Iranian public, they would have a different attitude towards forming a government
But
or
what
creating
we're
a society.
saying is that the greater Iranian public could sometimes not have its say. Like a smaller sect of the population could have a more powerful say in the destiny.
That can
of
always
Iranian
happen.
people.
That's true.
That can always happen, but I think this is why
right. Yeah.
that can always happen everywhere. But I think this is what he's saying. Like, for example, let me tell you something. Like, and Pakistanis are very different from Arabs as well. And I've always said it. Pakistan have a lot of mixed blend of the Indian culture, which is why the Pakistanis not necessarily, or at least initially, still a large part even now, they don't mind dances and colorful Bollywood songs and music, and they don't mind that. But then it's sprinkled. But then it's a little bit sprinkled with.
When Mimsy saw at our wedding, and Mimsy's like, "Wait, what? The men and women are mixing and they dance together?"
Yeah, exactly.
What? I'm like, "Well, then it wouldn't be a wedding. Then what do you expect?"
Yeah,
But
exactly.
It's just
Yeah,
like
so
like, what do you expect? A bunch of falafels running around it. Come on, man. They said, if you don't have dance and thingy, then it's not a wedding. You know?
Yeah, so Pakistan, so Pakistan is very different from Arabs, and I think this is what the video is trying to say that as well, that Iranians are very different from the Arabs as well, and whenever they would create a society, it would be different.
And you know, Armin, you can speak about this more than myself and Harith because you're obviously Iranian, but the level of like calls for secularism that I've seen in Iran is far greater than what I've seen anywhere else in the Muslim world. And the Iranians that I've always met outside of Iran, they're not like Arabs or Pakistanis. They're not like that. They're not like almost
That's
like
not a fair
That's
not fair representation because most of it's a larger percentage. The Iranians out of Iran are a larger representation of the secularists because they left Iran.
Yeah, but even the secular Pakistanis that I've met, right? They will still be like, yeah, but Islam is cool. While they're drinking vodka and banging a girl, they'll still say Islam is cool. But I have not seen Iranians do that. And so I think you should give yourself a bit more credit, have a bit more Aryan pride. Stop being such a stop being such a self-hating Iranian for God's sake.
I'm just going to challenge you guys on this, okay? Because the question was like worried about separatist movements, like the Kurdish separatist movements, or the Arab separatist movements, or the Turkish or the Baluchi separatist movement. But the main reason why, okay, I'm not saying it will, but if Iran becomes like Syria, okay, and there's civil war, is because of the existence of people who you guys are denying, right? So based on the statistics, like based on that came out of Iran from academic institution outside of Iran, okay, the support for the Islamic Republic in Iran is 20%, okay? The difference, the problem with, even though this 20% is a minority, okay, that would mean like around 16 million Iranians. The issue is that among these 20%, you will find more Iranians that are willing to pay a much heavier price for what they want than among the Iranians who want a secular democracy. So more Iranians want a secular democracy than Iranians that want an Islamic Republic. But the Iranians who want an Islamic Republic are more willing to die for it and even give their children for it, right? So that's why. And they also have a lot more access to weapons, and they also are battle hardened. They are the ones who've been to Iraq war, in Afghanistan war, in Syria war, so they have experience. Like on our side, we have young kids in the streets. I mean, they're brave, but they haven't been in war. They haven't been in wars, right? So, just let me give you one more. Like, imagine, like, let's say at least the 10 million Iranians out of the 85 are support the regime. Okay, out of this 10 million, do you not think 100,000, only 100,000 of them, if they're willing to bleed to keep this regime? Remember, these people believe that the Islamic Republic is not just a political matter. Okay, this is the regime that ushers in the coming back of the Mehdi. Allah. So you need to obtain this regime for the Mehdi, for Imam to come back. So this is about not about this world. This is about the Qiyamat, okay? This is about the end of the world, so to maintain that. So at least if 100,000 of these are willing to die, and then compare this 100,000 to ISIS. At its peak, ISIS had 40,000 members. 40,000 members at its peak. So imagine 100,000 and these are more trained than ISIS members with more access to weaponry and
they're more
more
cultured.
organized.
Yeah.
Yes,
They're more
and
cultured. Yeah.
and more networks outside of the area. Like they have access to Hezbollah, they have access to Syria, they have access to a lot of access to Afghanistan, Fatim Union in Afghanistan. They have a lot of support. I'm not saying they would be able to destroy the secular democracy that might come after it. I'm saying they would be a major obstacle. These would be like this would be a Shia version of ISIS that will plague Iran for
Bro, I don't want to see a
come.
Shia version of ISIS, man. Those guys, fearless.
I have a theory on this that see, secularist humanist values, they don't come by force. They always evolve. They have humble beginnings and then they evolve into what we see today in the West. You can never have secular revolution. The only time when atheists or secularists have had a revolution, that was with the support of communism, which is basically a political doctrine. So what you're saying, Armin, I believe you. Unfortunately, and this is a question I asked Mariam Namazi as well. I would probably be more worried that even though the motivation, the will to take over in radicals is always more than in the minds and hearts of those who are more balanced, who don't want to get rid of their life, who don't want to die for something like this. So it's probably more likely that some other form of extremist ideology is going to take over if there ever was a revolution. I think that. I don't think there would be. I don't think all of a sudden like the secularists will overthrow them, and then we'll have a regime in Iran that would say, we love the UN's Human Rights Charter and Geneva Convention. We want to be, oh, okay, sorry. Kemal Ataturk was another exception as well, who actually did do it. But again, like those people had the will. They had hundreds of years of these old rotting ideas of, even the Ottoman Empire wasn't as orthodox as a traditional Islamic worldview would have been, but there was a legacy of hundreds of years. But Iran hasn't had that, maybe 40 years, but who knows? I mean, these things are changing far more rapidly these days than they used to.
Do you know what I think the next regime should do if there is one? I think they should invite the United States to come make military bases inside Iran, like they did with Germany or Japan. Just be like, we can't hold this thing together.
No,
Just come here and just chill with us for a while, please.
I agree.
No, but they wouldn't allow them. No, but they wouldn't ask. These Western forces to, hey, come over. We're having these little protests, Islamist protests in Tehran. These Islamists are trying to overthrow us. Can you come and just shoot these people down? They would never do that.
No, I'm talking about similar to what happened in after the fall of Germany or Japan.
Germany, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just come and have military bases there. We will have joint operations. We'll just work with each other.
Possible.
You train our military forces. We will act. You will have access to. Here's what will help not have chaos in Iran. Okay, there's too much interest by the world's powers for stability in Iran. So if the next regime asks for Europe and United States and Canada and Australia and everybody else to go for the sake of your oil flowing through, or for the sake of chaos, for the sake of refugees, not guys, if Syria changed the entire politics of Europe because of the refugee crisis that started, right? It's Syria caused Brexit. Syria caused Italy to now have a right-leaning government, right? Syria caused the entire image of the politics in Europe changed. Europe does not have the appetite for another Syria 2.0. And if Iran what happened to Syria happens to Iran, it will be 10 times worse, right? So Iran's chance for stability is their fear of instability in Iran and their interest in coming in and helping. There will be so much world powers and resources coming in and aiding the next secular democracy. That might actually stop Iran becoming like Syria. That's the only hope they have.
Yeah.
True.
Anyways, let's move on to this question. Rob is saying, how do Muslims in Australia and New Zealand compare to Muslims in other Western countries in terms of their views and values, e.g., free speech, religious freedom, gender-related issues, LGBT issues, are they more similar to British Muslims or North American Muslims in this regard?
I wouldn't say. No, I think there would probably be more like North American, because, like, I mean, there was no influx of or sudden influx of Muslim refugees due to some political upheaval in the native countries. So there was a slow and steady inflow of skilled migrants. So these people were obviously educated to begin with, and they genuinely want to start a new life. Whereas when a lot of people, and Australia has been, some countries actually have criticized Australia for being very anti-boat people, as they like to call them, and we have Christmas Island where they just put them there for years and years. This was obviously popularized by Novak Djokovic's incident as well last year, when he was put in the same hotel, and there were people there for years. And Novak Djokovic being a superstar, he was just there was some court hearings done on Saturdays and Sundays. So anyway, that's a different topic. So I think Australian Muslims are okay, but again, Islam is still there. Like, I mean, I not long ago I got this unsolicited message from Armin's dropped. I got this unsolicited message from from some Lebanese Muslim. He's just like, "Hey, bro, why are you talking shit about my religion? I'm gonna come and get you." And then, like, I was like, "Okay," and then I was like, "Okay, just all right, but bro, calm down. I don't want to, like, you've got your real name and your real photo. I don't want to report it to the cops." And then, like, you're not going to come and visit me. They're going to come and visit you. He's like, "Oh, yeah, all right, bro, but why are you doing this?" Like, okay. So they I don't think it's as dangerous, but even in England, though, I reckon things are evolving very quickly amongst English Muslims as well. I don't know if you do. What do you reckon? I reckon we always said that we're going to normalize criticism of Islam, like, this, or behead those who insult Islam or whatever. I reckon this is playing a little role. I've seen a little change amongst Pakistani people as well. And I know I'm talking only in thousands in a country of millions of people, but I think the more you do it, Armin, and you would always be our hero for that. The more we do it, the better it gets. Like, I mean, they do get a little. We always take a little bit away from them when we crack a loose joke on Prophet Muhammad. Going to have sex with all his wives in one night. Like, when we make these kind of jokes, we always take a little bit away from them. And I think even British Muslims who are exposed to this kind of Islamophobic content a lot more than Pakistani audience or people who speak other languages, I think it's having some sort of an impact on them. What do you reckon, Vidu?
Yeah, you know what it is. Do you remember that thing, that movie, Lady of Heaven, whatever it was, that Shia movie, cancelled because the Sunnis came down to the cinema and they said, "This is Islamophobic, this is blah blah blah." You to cancel it, and guess what they did? They cancelled it, right? And this wasn't even like some far right guy making a movie saying Islam is shit. It was just a Shia version of a Shia narrative on whatever, on historical events, and even that was too much, right? That was too much for them to bear, right? Then you see what happened with the teacher with Charlie Hebdo happened a couple of years ago, right? So there are always these things that come. Then you look at what happened in Leicester just recently. Okay, just when you think there's a bit of progress, something like this happens, and it just triggers this thing. Now, when something like this happens, like what happened in Leicester, like all of a sudden, bang! It wasn't like there's a couple of fights here and there and some idiots fighting on both sides. It was almost like these guys were ready. The ingredients for that kind of unrest or for that kind of unleashing of this frustration or anger was already there. They just needed a spark. This is what it seems like every single time. They're already very well organized, very well prepared. Muhammad Ajam going from London to Leicester, all this kind of stuff. So to me, it seems like they remain quiet and then something happens and then bang. Then you realize, oh shit, we haven't actually made that much progress because these guys are still thinking like that. And I think the reason why is because they all live in the same neighborhood. They all go to the same mosque. They're all in the same enclosed area, mentally speaking and physically speaking. They're all in the same thing. They don't really have to interact with the outside world that much if they don't want to, or very limited, right? And they come back and they're in their echo chamber. So when something like this happens, when the imam or whoever it is, that the community elder says, "Let's go," then you go. And I think that's how it is. And as long as you have these kind of ghettoized kind of areas, then it doesn't matter what I say on YouTube. They interact with their mum and dad, that uncle, auntie, whatever it is, every single day. Sure, some people might be like, "Wow, Harris said this thing, and I've changed my mind." But I think the average person, that's their world, and that's the world that they live in. And it's unfortunate because they're in these mental and physical ghettos.
I didn't necessarily mean that they've changed their mind altogether.
Yeah.
Muslim. I didn't mean that. What I'm saying that every time we do a little
Soften their approach, even
it soften them up. There would always be a mob reaction when people are in a mob, they behave differently.
Yeah,
there would always be that. And then when there's a spark, then
that's it.
And
they're ready to go.
They're ready to go. But I'm just saying, you're not gonna. Who's that Danish guy or that Swiss guy, whatever, the one who just goes and just burns the Quran and then his car was flipped and chase or whatever. He's been doing it regularly now. And the more these people keep doing it, I mean, people are eventually going to get tired of that and then nothing's going to happen. And I think Muslims are learning that. But I know, I mean, it's not. I'm not going to advise you to go and do it in front of a mob of Muslims. But even if somebody did it and they got out of there alive, I actually wouldn't be surprised. But 5 years ago, you could probably say, "Remember, you did that video. Remember that? Oh, come on, name. There's someone." But even then, like he got out of it. Like it was just one crazy guy, just making a show for himself. And there was a couple other Muslims as well. But it's not like. But if you did that in Sialkot or in Rawalpindi, then,
we can't compare Western Muslims to Muslims in Muslim countries. It's a different ball game.
No, but people do think that you see Anjem Chowdhury, people like that who pick up these provocative slogans,
Death to the West,
and then you see the same people, Muslims doing the same thing in Pakistan. Then you think that they're all the same, and this is what the critics.
Yeah, they're not the same. No,
they're definitely not the same, and I would say that was my point, that there might have been similar a few years ago, or actually no, it might have been up and down. I think 2001 played a big part in that, but I definitely think that they're softening a little bit now. I got recognized this time as well in Ilford. There was a guy came up and he was with a few guys. I was like, "Hey, you're Sultan, yeah, bro." I was like, "Yeah." I don't want to hold hands because in that case, they can grab me. So, but I'm like, and I hate shaking hands as well because COVID and whatever. And even before COVID, I never liked it. So I was like, "Oh yeah." So I was like, he goes, "Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube." Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, so do you like my work or you want to stab me?" What do you want to do? So it's like, "Oh no, I'm a Muslim, bro, but yeah, I reckon you should. Yeah, what you're doing, you should be able to do it." Okay, all right. But again, but I'm not. But I don't want to be complacent. I'm not saying that you should just go out and I'm just walking around. Athens was the only place where there were so many Pakistani refugees there. Like I saw them. That was the only place where I actually purposefully put this mask on. Because I was
Athens got a lot of
Pakistanis. I think it was in North Athens or North. There's this part where they're just Pakistanis there. And I, funnily enough, I went to this shop to get a mobile phone SIM card, and when I went there, there was this guy. So he's on his iPad listening to Mufti Tariq Masood. And of all the topics, he was at that very time, he was actually talking about the mulhideens in Pakistan. I was like, luckily I had my mask on. I was like, is he gonna bring me up? Because he has never mentioned me by name, but he's actually has put me on his thumbnails. So I was thinking, oh, hang on a second, if I'm on a thumbnail of this video, whatever, so luckily I was like, okay, but anyway, nothing happened. I just walked away. But I'm just saying, you could feel intimidated. You could feel, but I think there's a bit of progress. I think there's a bit of progress.
Chalo.
Speaking of progress, let me show you some images that are within the same theme from Iran, from the protests. This is some of the attitudes that we now see. A lot of people are shocked by this image, and it got a lot of attention. It got 16,000 retweets because some people are trying to show things changing. But because I don't know if you guys can recognize this type of hijab in Iran. It's called the chador, and only very religious girls and women wear the chador in Iran, right? And
it's not mandatory, but it's to win extra brownie points.
Yes, this is not mandatory. So if you wear it, that means like you're signaling that you are not just doing the mere minimum. You're actually very religious. That's why you're doing the maximum of what you're supposed to do, right? But you can see two Chaudhary women who are presumably very religious sitting and laughing and smiling next to two girls who illegally are not wearing their hijab at all, right? And apparently the guy who walked by them and took this picture, he said this is the most beautiful picture he has seen in the past 3 weeks, right? So just like chilling, that's normal. Like this is, I don't know, for you guys, I think this is normal to see, like a Chaudhary, like the hijabi and non-hijabi. Your hair showing in public for me still feels like, what the hell? This is like, wow. Like, I mean, my mindset is still back in 10 years ago, back in Iran. This is a major act of defiance. But it's not just a major act of defiance, it's also being respected and accepted by two Chaudhary women right next to these girls, which is very unique. That's why this got like 16,000 retweets, right? And here's another one. This is also pretty. This got 12,000 repeats. This is coming from the streets in Iran. Yeah, so this is kind of hopeful to see.
Where's the morality police?
Oh, the morality police is running out of resources. It's like
Really?
they are. Oh my god, they are hard to like. Women in Iran are just like coming out and just without hijab and just walking and just like not even protesting. They're just like, I'm just gonna protest by not just wearing my hijab. So, and there's not enough people to arrest everybody. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Like I've never seen so many Iranian women without hijab in the streets just walking by. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's.
Oh, you got a super chat.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What the super chat or this picture?
No, this one. Yeah. You want to address this?
Oh, no, the picture. Yeah.
Yeah. So why do Muslims in Islamic countries want to leave their home countries, but after migrating to a democracy, they want to bring Sharia law in their new adopted countries? Well, because they think that Sharia is the best system in the world, and their home countries that they're leaving because the real Sharia was not applied there. So they don't think that Pakistan is bad because of Islamic principles. And there could be some truth to that claim, because Pakistan does not have Sharia. Pakistan is just a proto-democracy mixed with some old Anglo-Saxon laws and sprinkled with a bit of Indian culture as well. And then, so Pakistan by not any stretch is... I mean, when Daniel Hakikachu says that, there's no true Islamic country in the world, when he's actually right when it comes to Pakistan, for example. So Pakistan is not an Islamic country. I would give you that as well. And I think no country is Islamic country in its true in the Muhammad sense, in the sense of how Muhammad wanted it to be. And that's impossible. There's a reason for that, because it's just impossible. You just can't bring back sexual slavery. You can't bring back, wife beating. You can't actually codify. You can't legalize wife beating, even though you can legalize, their inheritance being less than that of a woman. You can codify that their statement is worth half of that of a woman, and consequently their vote would also be half. Like if there was, and besides, you can't even have democracy. You can't even have elections in Muhammad's Sharia Islamic country. So all those things matter. So to answer your question, those Muslims, they don't think that their home country that they've just left is bad because of Islam. So therefore, we are, and again, this is a very common narrative, common argument that they sell, that the West is actually so prosperous because they have Sharia principles. That they sell that. The Muslims did not accept Islam. It's the Westerners who've actually accepted Islam. They say that. So
I actually want to defend this position by Muslims. Okay, but if Islam was true, it actually makes a lot of sense. Like people are like, go back to your country if you don't like it here. I'm like, why? I'm here to fix this. I'm here to fix your problem. You're not Islamic. Like it would make sense actually. Like people say, as a Muslim, if you think Islam is so great, why wouldn't you live in Islamic countries? Well, if I was a Muslim, I would be like, well, I actually need to go in places where they don't have Islam. That would be the best thing to do, because I'm trying to make you will go to the places that has a problem that doesn't have Islam. Why would I go to the places that have already fixed the situation? If there was a true Islamic country, it would be my responsibility not to live there if I wanted to do the best for Allah, like best thing to my deen, to go spread it where there is no Islam. That's what I would do.
That is not that is not even close to the truth. That is not. They're not coming here because they think they have to.
I know, but I'm not saying they are saying it, but I'm saying as a Muslim, I would be saying that. As a Muslim,
at the end of the day, money talks. No one, whatever your religion or race is, if you can't feed your family, you can't feed yourself. You're gonna go to somewhere you can.
Simple no. As a Muslim, I wouldn't care about money. I would care about my afterlife. No, I would care about money as much so that I could serve Allah. Unless
you want to be like a beggar or something, maybe. I don't know.
No, I would make money, but it wouldn't be because I want to be rich. I would want to use money, this world's resources, so I could spread the religion, so I could help Allah spread His deen around the world. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but even by that argument, you would only go to places where it's possible to make a lot of money, so you can do that. A lot of these dawah guys, the very successful ones, they have other businesses which they use to then fund their dawah thing, and then they make the dawah thing business. But the fact is. I think there's two factors. So one, yes, when they leave their country, they kind of want a part of their country to, the thing that they idealize anyway. They want that part to now exist in the new country. But I also think they only ask this because on some level they kind of get it. They get, like, if you look at the level of left-wing multiculturalism in some of, like, for example, even in the UK, they tolerate this kind of bollocks. They tolerate this from Muslims, right? They have their own Sharia council, all this kind of stuff. It's not legally binding, but they allow it, right? When it comes to, no one wants to actually challenge them on their bullshit politically anyway, right? All this, there's so much stuff that they tolerate, and they refuse to call out. That they're like, okay, like, so if they're not going to call us out on it, we'll just take another inch. We'll keep taking as much as we can, and this is the very nature of.
But every group is doing that.
Every group does do that, but the groups that proselytize more, like Christians and Muslims, do it more. Yeah, right. They do it more so because that's in their very nature, is to spread. Like you were saying, wherever I go, I'm gonna spread it. And it's my, it's whatever it is. It's my duty to spread Islam and blah 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 blah. So they will definitely take advantage of it. And Europe, especially Western Europe, is culturally very weak. They do not stand up to these people because their original sin is to be accused of racism, and that's the last thing that they want to be accused of. I'm not a racist, right? So they're like, yeah, well, this is our religion. You can't make fun of Prophet. You can't draw cartoons. This is how we treat our women. We don't want gay stuff in schools. All this stuff. And okay, well, just don't call us a racist.
Yeah. See, okay, so my problem is that Islam is horrible. Okay. Because the idea of a political ideology, okay, or a way of life trying to dominate and become more powerful and more widespread, which one of them is not trying to do that? Okay, so people are like, oh, why are you trying to do that? Like, everyone is trying to do that. The problem is not that they're trying to do that. The problem is that they're horrible. It's a horrible religion. It's a horrible ideology that shouldn't be spread. If there was another ideology that was trying the same thing and it was like a good one, I would be like, oh, go for it. That's fantastic. Like, I wouldn't be like if it's actually, if I believe that Islam helps people in this life and the after and the next, I wouldn't be condemning these people who are trying to spread Islam and dominate around the world. I would be cheering them. Okay. And if another ideology right now it does that, and if they were doing the same, using the same tactics that Muslims are using to spread that ideology, I would be cheering them on because, like, this is actually going to save the world. So the problem is not that the tactics that Muslims are using. The problem is that they're spreading poison. It's the nature of what they're spreading that is the problem, not their tactics. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think it's inevitable when you're dealing with opposing ideas, then you eventually it's going to reach a critical point where you're going to try to shut each other down, because that is actually the end goal. I get it that, like, I buy that argument, like, oh, I don't agree with what you say, but you have a right to say it, that kind of nonsense. But I've actually kind of refined my view on that. That I think people who don't support free speech, I think they should not have free speech.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't actually know. I think
You
we
know
can
what?
take it
You know,
away.
you are absolutely right. You're
That makes no
absolutely
sense.
right.
That makes
No, it does
no
make sense.
sense.
No, it makes 100% sense. You know why? Let me tell you why. All right, I'm sick and tired of this shit. You have no. Okay. You know what? Would a vegan go to a butcher and say, "How do we best protect animals from being killed?" Yes or no?
Not eating it. No.
No, but do you think a vegan would be like, this guy kills animals? Let me go and ask him how best not to kill animals. No, because he's like, this is the complete opposite of the world I want to live in.
Yeah,
So someone who doesn't believe the very fundamental of our society, as far as I'm concerned, has no right, or rather, I don't care what they think anymore. Because if I said to you,
that's a different.
hang on, would I go to a pedophile and say, how do I best take care of my child?
No,
why not, man? He has to have a vested interest in the goal that I want. Now, people who say I don't believe in free speech, as far as they've lost their right to have now a say on free speech.
That's not how any of this works. That's not how this works.
I don't know.
We'll make it work that way.
That's how it should work. If you if you think I think women should be slaves, sex slaves, then I'm not going to ask you how do we further.
Do you even understand what? Do you even understand what they're taking their right to free speech means?
What do you mean?
Well, of course I understand.
How would that work? Tell me.
So basically,
let me read this.
What's the question? What's the question?
Okay, let's say some people don't respect free speech. Okay.
Yep.
Now you want to take away their right to free speech. How would you do that?
So, for example, every time, let's give an example, right? Muslims say we don't, you can't blaspheme against Prophet, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I would say, fair enough. You've now lost your right. You're now advocating for something which is complete opposite of which is the fundamental basis of this country, right?
Yeah.
So how would you take it away? Firstly, the soft approach would be to say we don't
find them,
right? You could find them.
No, find them for what?
I wouldn't say.
Wait.
No. Hang on. I mean, wait a sec. I'm the one who floated this idea, so I've actually thought a lot about it. And
you're denying him his free speech.
Maybe Armin. No. But maybe Armin can think as I speak. So I say I'm not saying that they should be fined for recording their offense. That hey, you have insulted the Prophet. No. Well, I'm not saying we should go that far. I am saying this should only be applied to
lose your vote. Lose your vote.
No, not even that. No,
seriously, think about it. If you want to play, hang on. If hang on.
You'll understand my argument better.
You want to play part of the game, you have to accept the rules.
You have a citizen. Okay, so you have a UK citizen who says I think free speech is nonsense. Now that citizen cannot vote.
Yeah. Let me give you an example. If me and you go into an MMA fight. If me and you going into listen. If me and you going into an MMA fight, right, and we both have gloves on, we both accept the rules, and then I pull out a knife and say, "Hey, why can't we just fight?" And he said, "But that's not part of the rules. But the whole point is for me to beat you, right? So what?" But you say, "No, you can't play anymore because you've broken the rules. You can't just make up the rules."
You haven't broken the rules if you just express an opinion.
You
have broken the rules if I come and actually actively try to silence you by intimidation or violence. That's when I broke the rules. So if person A says I don't think Armin should have the right to blaspheme the Prophet, this person has not yet broken the rules. If the person B comes and says I will come scare the shit out of Armin so that he doesn't blaspheme the Prophet.
Okay, fair enough. Then you lose your vote.
That person has and we already put that guy in. We already have laws against that. That guy goes to jail under the current existing legal structure. That person has already violated the law and will be.
If you guys want to hear the more refined argument,
go on.
So I wouldn't say that you should fine or take away the right, because the person who's saying that person should not blaspheme, this is his right to offense, and people should have a right to offense. So that can't be taken away. That's not necessarily against freedom. Yeah, you did, and I told you. Let me finish my argument, and then
I was going
I've thought a lot about this. So the only person that comes to my mind who I say that they should be fined initially, jailed, and maybe get the citizenship cancelled. Who are those people? Those are the people who actually use free speech, and they say, I am struggling to for a state where there is no free speech. For example, I want to create a sharia law country. I want to create an autocratic society, like, or I want to bring in communism or something where you would have no free speech. So there's a clear, there is a clear, and I'll give you an example. Hizb ut-Tahrir guy, whatever his name was. Geez, I forgot his name. I debated with him.
Chaudhry Saab.
No. Hizb ut-Tahrir guy in Australia. I debated with him. So he was cornered. Oh yeah, he was cornered. Farouk Uthman, I think. Yeah, that's his name.
Uthman, yeah.
So he was cornered on Australian TV, and he was saying, we're using our free speech to abolish free speech. So this is just basically, this is contradictory, and you have to be a world-class idiot to allow. This is equivalent of saying, here I am an anti-gun person, and I have a gun, and I'm just dropping my gun, and I'm giving it to you, and a person who's saying that I definitely want to shoot you, and you're giving a gun to his head. So these people are, hang on. So these, I want to make sure, I know you understand, but I want to make sure people understand that. So this is a clear conflict with whatever we stand for. So people have a right to offend. People have a right to say that, oh, you shouldn't be saying that. That's all within the rules of free speech. This is the only time when I think free speech comes under threat, and the other person does not respect free speech, because the free speech person is actually striving to overthrow a government that or society that allows free speech.
All right, 3 points. Okay, first of all, under more progressive and advanced countries, we don't have thought crimes. An action must be taken before you could accuse a person of a crime. You know, They can't just, if a guy comes like, hey, this would be my ideal society without free speech. Okay, you cannot criminalize that, because if you do that, then you're.
If I say, I think it's okay to kill Jews, is that a crime? I said, I think it's okay. I didn't say I'm gonna. I didn't say you should. I said, I think it's okay.
It's immoral, but it shouldn't be a crime.
So
right? if you say go ahead and do it, that should be a crime.
I mean, you really lose the point.
I waited for you to finish. Let me finish, okay?
تفضل.
We shouldn't have thought crimes, okay? I believe in the U.S. standard. In the United States, saying that is not a crime. You will still be punished by society. You will be shamed. You will be deplatformed. You would lose your job. None of this is violating your free speech, because the government has you getting deplatformed. I'm okay with you getting deplatformed. I'm okay with you losing all your social media accounts. I'm okay with you losing your job, okay? Because that is not a violation of your free speech. The government still hasn't gotten involved. The government should allow you to say that unless you're inciting violence, or unless you take action into making such a state possible. Then you're actually committing, I don't know, treason or tyranny or something like that, right? So that's one. Secondly, the gray area for this is very vague, right? Based on these standards that you're introducing, I could come and be like, I think that would be better if we have some limitation for free speech. At what point, like, is this all of a sudden, have I committed a crime now by just uttering that? Or do I have to come up with a master plan on like step-by-step process? Like, at what level would you be considered me criminal? Or if I'm just wondering, like, maybe free speech is not that good. Would I now be a criminal based on your standards? Okay. So, and the third thing, Vidu, come back here. I need you for this. Vidu. Okay. The most important part. Okay.
I'm just eating chicken. Sorry, I don't know.
Based on what you guys are saying, okay, based on the standards that you're introducing, you two would be criminals, okay? You two are introducing suggestions to a state, to have a state where there's some limitations on what people could say, okay? So based on, and you what you're saying is self-contradictory, okay? And you're saying that anybody who doesn't respect free speech would be a criminal, and you want to limit other people's free speech by criminalizing it, and because this is circular. So you guys should be the first people who are arrested under these new laws or fined under these new laws, because you are actually challenging free speech.
Okay. What was your first point? Sorry, I wrote the second and third point. What was your first point?
Wait, what was it? The first point was thought policing. That
Oh
you know,
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
talk about.
I think they all linked to each other. So yeah, you were saying that an action needs to be taken before anything can happen. No, so for example,
Like-
Vito's example was perfect. So he can say it. This is dog whistling. This is exactly what Muhammad Hijab has found his success in. He just says it implicitly, not explicitly, and we know what kind of an impact it has on society. We know that. We know words carry weight. We know you can, like when people like Ali Dawa say, we're proud of that, yeah, like in a perfect Islamic society, you should be killed. We know what he's saying. We know how it is being interpreted by people. We know you have to be a world-class idiot not to see that. So I'm like, okay, hang on a second. Okay, the enemy is getting cleverer, so you need to be clever as well. So no, it's not. So it's not as simple as that. That I just thought about. I create this perfect dystopia, or in my worldview, it's a utopia where no one is allowed to do it, and therefore you're arrested, like Minority Report kind of style. No, I'm not saying that. So words carry weight. So no, first point, I don't think it's that perfect. So anyway, so you're saying that what are the standards? Like where are we going to draw the line? Well, I've said it. Like I think the standard is if you say that I am striving for a system, which is actually a crime in most countries anyway, like is akin to treason, that I'm trying to overthrow the government and blah, blah, blah. So you don't just start arresting people when they pick up a gun. You can actually start arresting people before that as well, when you see they're forming organization, where they're actually collaborating. And this happened in the 50s and 60s in America as well, but in the 20s and 30s as well, when there was supposedly a communist revolution about to take place in America as well. So FBI arrested a lot of people just because they were just colluding, organizing, forming organizations and try to think about that. But they didn't do anything practically. They didn't pick up any weapons per se. But the United States did crack down on them. So it can happen. If you say I'm striving for a society or a form of government where there would be no free speech, that is a line. That is a standard. That is where I draw the line. Third point, you say you too will be criminal because you're suggesting there should be limitation on what you can say. Well, there always are limitations to what we say. What Armin, what Vidu gave you an example. He said, I think, and then he can say that. No, I think it should be criminal, because he might say with a little bit of a wink, and then okay, that would spread anti-Semitism, and we've seen that. And these kind of words can have an impact. So therefore, no, I don't think we will be criminal under the criterion that I have set, because I don't think we're saying that we are going to create a society where there will be no free speech.
Okay, if words carry weight and any idiot could tell you what they mean, then you could prove in a court of law that these people actually meant to incite violence or something like that, right? So even if they're using whistle, dog whistles, and anybody can see that these are dog whistles for actual violence or any form of action, then you should be able to prove that in a court of law. And they will, even though they're not saying it directly, then the court should hold them responsible. So there's that, right? Also, you're using an example of what United States used to do. Your example was of the McCarthy era. Is that what you're using as a role model? Because that was horrible. I don't know. Everybody recognized that as a horrible moment in U.S. history. Like, is that what your standard is of what your enforcement of your free speech laws are like?
No, I'm saying that it is plausible when you see that your country,
we hated
your constitution is about to be overthrown.
It was
it's gonna be overthrown.
No, that's actually a great example of how what your line of thinking could get us at, right? People come in, were like, oh, this could lead to this, and this could lead to this, and all of a sudden, Russian spies will take over the United States, and Soviet Union will win, and communism will take over the world if we're not careful. Like slippery slope arguments over limiting. Like your example is a perfect warning to what we shouldn't be doing, because this line of reasoning made United States take actions about anybody that was with multiple degrees of separation from communism, were arrested, questioned, their monies were taken away, their jobs were taken away by the government. And that was a horrible time. Like, if you want to point at people because of their opinions and call them criminals, you're opening a gateway to a lot of government involvement that is not good for anybody.
And as I said, in McCarthyism, you're talking about. So so they went too far. Okay, so we can have checks and balances. So I can always talk about that too. So you can also I can also reverse the slippery slope argument as well, because you're saying that it would open up this can of worms. I'm saying no, we will. This is a slippery slope argument. No, we'll keep it very controlled. So these things can go everywhere.
But look at my example. United States, with the standards that it currently has, is doing fine when it comes to free speech.
Because there is no organized movement in the United States. How many Muslims are there? 2%, 3% or something. When they're 20%, let's just say let's just say. Those two. So and when it does become an issue, when it does become a problem, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying do it now. I mean, obviously, like for example, let's use the example of Muhammad Hijab. Yeah, everyone knows what he's doing. He's dog whistling. Yeah, they're doing this and that, but it's still not a threat. There's only 5% Muslims in Britain. Contrary to popular belief, I don't think there's going to be any Islamic takeover of the United Kingdom. I genuinely don't think that. I think these kind of little crimes would keep on happening. Someone would do something erratic, and then we were like, oh, look how bad this is. I don't think that. But I'm saying when someone explicitly says, I am going to overthrow the government and I am striving for Sharia law where there's going to be no free speech, and flogging and stoning of adulterers and blah blah blah. I'm mobilizing units for that. Fair enough. For a long time, you can take that as idiots. Sorry.
No, that's a crime. That's already a crime under my standard.
No, it's not.
I'm mobilizing under my standard. You're mobilizing people to overthrow the regime. Yeah, that's a crime. What is
no.
Okay.
No.
If that's how far.
They say we're peaceful. We say we're peaceful.
I agree.
They add the word peaceful. No, but they add the word peaceful in that. We're peacefully campaigning to bring Sharia into this country, and
that. Sorry, that's a good point. Actually, let's say we have we reach a critical mass of whether it's communists or right wingers or Muslim, whatever, right, in a population, and they say we are now setting up a political party. We're now playing the game by the system.
Oh no, political party. I think you should not be allowed to have a political party if you don't agree with the principles of the country.
Right. Okay.
You should be able to say certain things. You should be like, I believe a country would be great if there's no free speech. Okay. But sorry, you will not be allowed in any political party. You should not be able to form a political party. You shouldn't be allowed to serve as a politician. None of that. Okay, these are the standards that you have. You're barred from entering politics.
You know what? I'm gonna do a complete 180 to play devil's advocate here. Okay, you know how we have now. Basically, what we've done is we've put in a prerequisite to say if you want a political party, you have to first accept freedom of speech. Without that, you can't progress forward. Okay, what then? Someone else could say, well, what about I don't know, like some other thing? Like, would you be abortion? Is that another absolute prerequisite? What would you say about LGBT rights? Is that like, for example, when gay people marrying each other? Is that another prerequisite? Where would you draw the line? Why not?
Because as I said,
would you say gay people? If I set up a political party saying I want to revoke gay marriage,
no, that should be allowed because that should be allowed. Because so many everything else should be allowed because that would fall under free speech.
So
No, that's the whole purpose of free speech.
I said I want black people not to allow them to marry white people.
Yeah. You could say that, and everything else would apply.
That black-white one is against the Constitution.
Because discrimination. That's discrimination. Yeah. Well, what is it? Huh?
No, well, that's not yet in the Constitution. They should update the Constitution. That's not in the Constitution.
I'm not just using American example. I'm using in general as this hypothetical thing, right? It could be in this
country,
or Australia.
I think it should be clear. I don't know where you draw the line, but it should be like really clear where the line is.
I reckon, in my case, my original premise was someone who does not accept free speech in a society should not be allowed to use free speech. So that's only limited to free speech, because once you have free speech, then you can talk about by saying that I want to create a totalitarian ideology with this.
How would you do that? Like you
the moment you open his mouth, no.
I think this should not. I think I would be okay with barring them from politics or holding office. That's the length I would.
Yeah, but
I think you can just shut people up. I think there's no. I mean, you don't even have a single regime that should that is part of the progressive rules. And it's just like, oh, your free speech is now limited. Like we don't what. That is like dystopian. Like that's,
it just sounds so stupid. I get it that people like Uthman Badr and these guys that don't have any power yet. There's not going to be an Islamic Republic of Australia anytime soon. But it just sounds so stupid. He sits there and he says,
"I think you guys are just so. I think you guys are just so hurt over people just saying things you don't like and be like, somebody should do something about this." I think
it just sounds very stupid when someone says, I'm going to use free speech to abolish free speech.
Yeah, you guys are hurt.
I'm like, come on. Surely we should be able to do something about this.
You guys are hurt. You guys want the government to support you.
I want the government to at least fine him, at least make a statement, okay? Just say, okay.
Maybe you guys need therapy rather than logical arguments right now. Because that's not how governments work. That's not how governments work.
I agree. You can't, even if someone says, I believe in free speech, you can't.
But you would. You would create new laws. It's the rule of the universe. When it does become a problem, you would create new laws. And then you would be arresting these people. You would be them. But my point is, like, why wait for it to blow out of proportion when it becomes, 50% of the people are now saying, yeah, you know what? Now you've ruined the society. Now people are really... That's how Iranian revolution would come. Now an autocratic government would come. A big populist autocratic strongman is going to come and is going to overthrow the government, and then he's going to be like, hey,
any regime. Just let me tell you one last thing, okay, and then I will move on. Any regime that you give the power and authority to limit some people's free speech because of the standards that you gave them, eventually they will come after you. Okay, eventually you will lose the control.
We'll deal with it then. Power. Slippery slope argument. We'll deal with it then.
No. This is not one of those slippery slopes that is.
Because you're saying
because every other right is founded upon the right to free speech. If you start limiting that, every other right that you have becomes. Will be challenged.
No,
right?
but no.
And if you give the power, that's
exactly what I'm saying.
Government, if you give the power to a government that decides what speech should be allowed and what shouldn't, then you have given them a very, very powerful weapon.
You say what as if I've given a whole range of free. There's only one variable in that. Someone who does not want free speech. That's it. That's the only thing that should not be allowed. It's not that hard.
Okay, so but again, you understand that everybody, nobody is a free, like very few people are free speech absolutists.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Exactly.
So given that we are free speech maximalists and not free speech absolutists, based on this, people who are against free speech, you are opening the door for the definition of who's against free speech to eventually encompass over almost everybody. Right? You could go and ask people like, do you think people should be able to incite violence against the Jews? No. I don't know. Are you now within the circle of you could go ask Muslims. You could challenge every single Muslim. Do you think? You could use this law to kick out all Muslims out of your country. But do you think people should be able? Yeah, go ask. Get the government to ask every single Muslim. Do you think people should be allowed to blaspheme against the Prophet? No, you're a goddamn criminal now.
No, of course not. No, I don't. No. Armin, seriously, I don't understand why. I thought you'd be able to understand that. I am not saying that people. Hang on, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying people don't have a right to be offended. People have a right to be offended, and people have a right to say that, hey, you should not be saying it. I'm saying who's striving.
I'm not talking about offended.
Okay, fine. All right, let's. Okay, let's move on then. Because you're simply not understanding what I'm saying. I am not saying what you just. So why are you giving those examples that I'm not even saying that your examples don't fit in my worldview?
You're not listening to me. I'm not saying go ask Muslims in the street if they're offended. I'm saying ask Muslims in the street whether they think the government should stop us from blaspheming the Prophet. Most Muslims will agree, yes, a government should stop you from blaspheming the Prophet.
How would they be criminal? How would they be criminal under my proposal? How would they be criminal?
They believe in a regime. They would strive for
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You didn't understand my argument. That's why I'm saying you didn't understand my argument. I am not saying that would be classified as that. Someone thinking or believing that he should not be saying that is not what I'm saying. That their freedom of speech should be taken away. I'm not saying that.
You said anybody who believes that doesn't believe in free speech.
No.
This is exactly what you said. This is
No.
exactly the phrase you said. You said people who don't believe in free speech, their free speech should be taken away.
There's the right to
They're
free
not-
speech. This is what I mean. Okay. This is what I mean.
That's what you said.
So people who do not believe that society should have free speech.
Mhm. Okay.
People who are trying to create a society where there would be no free speech. Okay, I'm refining it now. Okay, so there you go. Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so fine, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not winning or losing. I'm trying to clarify it to the best of my ability. Okay, people who say, and I gave the Uthman Badr example for example, he is no free speech model. The Sharia system where there's no free speech, you can't talk about religion, you can't talk about burqa, you can't talk about.
We're changing it as
that's
we go because you realize that your position was not good enough. So I understand that we're changing the position as we're going.
Okay, so my point is not to say that hey, I was always right. My point is to say that I want to make sure you understand my position. So so I'm not changing my position. I'm simply refining.
No, it's a better position. It's a better position.
Okay. Let's just get to the bottom of it. Yeah. So I'm saying a person or an organization or a group of people that say we want to create a society that has no free speech, and I'm going to do that by using free speech. And this is what I'm saying. The person who believes that there should be no free speech should not have a right to free speech.
Okay,
that's
and how
what
would
I'm
you
saying.
limit that? And how would you limit their free speech?
Yeah, if they are working to create a society. Now, you could argue how they're working. Are they having secret meetings? Are they mobilizing people?
How would you limit their free speech then? How would that look like?
Oh, by them not being able to say that. If they say that, there's a fine. That could fall under subsect or subsection of treason, for example, because you are effectively saying that I don't recognize this constitution, basically.
So that goes way back to the standards that I already have. If somebody is trying to commit treason, that's already a law against that. Okay, and you agree. So originally we said everybody who just believes doesn't believe.
Needs more refinement. So it needs more refinement.
I agree. If you keep refining it that way, it's coming more towards me, and I agree with that. Okay, but the original position that anybody who doesn't believe in free speech, their free speech should be taken away.
No, that's not what I meant.
Okay,
no, that's
so
not
you said that, but you didn't mean that. Good.
I don't know if I said that or not, but anyway, but even if I said it, that's fine. That's not what I meant. So again, this is why I kept giving the example of Uthman Badr over and over again. He says it, no free speech, and I'm going to use free speech to get rid of that system that allows free speech. No free speech. Okay. So
no, it's getting.
They are free speech minimalist. So you can use free speech according to them and say, hey, Islam is a glorious religion in the Islamic Republic of Australia. But you can't say, hey, sorry.
I understand now what you say, but just for other people to be completely clear, if an American comes and says that I believe the government should limit Armin's right to blaspheme against the Prophet, you don't think that person should be fined just for saying that, correct?
No. So say it again.
Okay, good. If an American citizen, a Muslim American citizen, comes and says that I believe the government should stop Armin from blaspheming against the Prophet. That's my belief. Do you think that Muslim American should be fined? Yes or no?
No, of course not. No. Okay. He has a right to say that. Okay. I'm saying he's creating a system, overall system, not just a little law that he should be stopped. Okay. This is what I've been trying to say the whole time.
Okay.
No.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah. All right. Hey, so Vidu, so do you agree that we should not give a right to those people who are striving or struggling to create a system that has no free speech?
I haven't changed my position from taking away their votes. So I'm still there. I'm still there, man. All right, so you got a lot of work to do.
Be careful, Harris is going to come after you. You
can take my free speech away. If you say you don't believe in free speech, you should walk around outside with some sellotape on your mouth. Okay, that should be the punishment. Okay, wear a corona mask. Anyway,
yeah, I have members. I posted a link to our YouTube members on Secular Jihadists to come up if they want. So you guys could come up if anybody wants to come and talk to us.
Right. Okay. All right. We should move on to the next question. Is there another question?
No, we have no question. I have some pictures and videos if you guys want.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Did you guys saw that Iranian TV national TV was hacked?
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it. So
Okay.
was it one of those anonymous people? Those guys?
No, this is another hacker group, Iranian hacker group called Adalat Ali. They hacked the TV
Good.
while Khamenei was speaking, right? So this is what so Khamenei, let me know if you have audio.
نادر مهدوی که
Yeah.
چند
Khamenei,
اسمش رو
okay, Khamenei was speaking
کسی از
on TV.
دوستان ما که وارد در این موضوعات میگو اگر این نادر مهدوی
So this starts playing and has Khamenei with the target on his head, and it says "Khune javanan ma micheked az jang to," which means the blood of our young is dripping from your claws, and he has the pictures of the recent victims of the protest, the girls who died, shot, including Mahsa Amini at the bottom. This is Mahsa Amini, right? And then continues. Oh, and he says in the background the chants of the protesters, Zan Zindagi Azadi, which means woman, life, freedom. And then it cuts. And we know that this was not just a hack on the web, but also from the TV station itself, because if you look in the background, they having it on their own screen as well. So this was like from the very source. And this guy's face, hold on. People have been memeing the shit out of this guy's face. Anyway, so this was like,
wow.
This was huge because this is at the entire nation. And actually, the one thing else that I didn't read is this text here, because it's inviting people to come to the protests. It says, join us and rise up. So this is like reaching out to the whole nation beyond social media, because a lot of people don't come on social media. They don't have access to the protesters' narratives and stuff. So this was like, and also this has the broken window effect, where you can see something like, you know how you go to a business and they have broken windows, you think like, okay, this business is kind of going bankrupt. So a lot of people, pro-regime people think like, oh, protests are going to die down or something. But when they see something like this on national TV, it gives them more of an impression that, oh my God, this regime, like, I don't know if everything is going to be staying. Also, one other reason why, go on.
No, I was going to show, don't move on from the Iranian subject. I want to show another video as well. But yeah, carry on. Yeah,
okay. So these are, the boys are joining now the girls, because we had a lot of girl students, like teenage girls and even below, like in schools, like tearing up their Khomeini pictures of Khomeinis from their book and writing chants on their whiteboard in schools. It used to be just girls. Azadi. Zan, Jian. They write the Kurdish version, because this the chant was from Kurdish origin. So a lot of people write the Zhen Jian Azadi, which is the Kurdish version rather than a Persian version. This says Magbad dictator, which means death to dictator. So this used to be just girls doing this, but now the boys are joining them as well. But also another reason to know that the regime seems a little bit afraid is that the head of the judicial branch, AJE, which is one of the most powerful in Iran, is now asking people to come talk. Like, we're ready to talk, right? And the people are like, this is like, are you afraid? Why is this? Because usually they talk from a position of power, like, we're going to crush you, we're going to defeat you. But now they're ready for talk. And some people are saying this is what they mean when they say come talk, because this is what happens when the young people go and try to talk to them. So look at this. Like, here, like, let's talk. Like,
and
look with me.
I have a bad feeling about this. Whoa!
Look at this. It started pretty good. It started like they were. So like people are like, don't go talk to them. Don't go talk to them.
Or like this. Otherwise, that's gonna happen.
Bring it back.
Yeah. Otherwise, this is gonna happen. Look at this. Look at these girls. What are they doing?
Oh wow!
I love it. How they put these videos up, and it must piss them off so much, and you can't even recognize these girls.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, hit them where it hurts. Yeah.
There's so many like that. I don't know if you look. I don't know these. The schoolgirls in Iran are like braver than my generation ever was. Like it's insane.
Yeah,
Well, I
mean,
think
it's about
you reach a
desperation.
limit, and then it's just like you just can't handle it anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's desperation.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, the status quo becomes weaker as well. I have a feeling. I think the status quo is like, okay, we've got everything in control. Okay, this is the too much bureaucracy comes in. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to run it. And then people find a way to counter it, and then people get sick of it as well. And then that's how it just gets, I think the totalitarianism softens as well over time. I think because that's not the natural state to be in. Anyway.
Yeah, let me actually show you. I don't know if Walid has seen this. Like they keep bringing people from the Basij to lecture the girls, right? Hold on, let me. Yeah,
The Basij.
Yeah, I got it.
So, okay. And the girls are like chanting back. Look at this. So they brought this guy to tell them why she should stop protesting and wear their hijab. And the girls are responding with like.
That's scary.
It says Basiji Boro Gomsho, which means like Basiji is like the morality police. Boro Gomsho means go to hell.
Go to hell.
The girls are taking off their hijab in front of the guy that is from the government, telling him to go to hell. Right?
and he's there to make sure that they say death to America.
Yeah, no, he's here to remind them about their duties and about why they need to wear their hijab and the protests are bad. And they're just like chanting in his face, the government like official in their face, Basiji Burgomsho, go to hell. Like this is like there's so many examples of schools bringing on people like this one. See here. Today, school principal brought a cleric to the school, and this is how the mullah was treated. Girls shout, "No to Islamic Republic, women life freedom." This is so look at these girls. Like the girl is saying, you wrote on the board that what we're doing is against the law, right? You're like, yeah, okay, but the people are against this law, like because they keep telling the girls that they should obey the law. This is against the law. Like, okay, but what if we are? What if we don't accept the law? What if we don't want the law? Like the people came here and they're just saying that they don't want your laws. Okay, again, like another girl saying, if we don't have our hijab, is the economy going to because what is that going to have any effect on anything? Like So they're chanting again against the cleric that are here. They're instead of listening to them, they're protesting in front of the clerics. Like they have no chills. You know, it used to be like when you take off your hijab and you chanted, you would do it in secret. Now they're doing it in the face of the officials. It's like unprecedented. It's amazing.
Can I ask you, Armin, if like they overthrow this government or this regime, whatever, what kind of society or state do you think they would create? Assuming, I know we can't touch it, assuming the Islamists don't get a hold of it. Let's say they have their version or vision, whatever, it comes true. Do you think it would be quite communist?
No. They hold the communists responsible for the Islamic Republic right now, Iranians, right? Okay. Because it was the communists and the mullahs who united against the Shah and did the Islamic revolution. And then Khomeini massacred the leftists and the communists after the revolution was successful. So a lot of people are like, you guys actually are responsible for bringing the mullahs, right? So leftism is not very popular. And one thing you notice is that these protesters are not politically very ideological. Like they're not left-leaning, right-leaning. They just want freedom. They just want to be free. That's all they know. They just... Their political ideology is anti-Islamic Republic of Iran,
which is good enough. That'll do. But obviously, this is why I say that obviously people who are more political who are clear with their doctrine, and usually it's a hard, right-leaning or radical or whatever they are, radical leftists or radical rightists. They're probably going to end up succeeding because they're willing to lay down their lives for the cause they believe in. But anyway, I just want to quickly address this question. It goes, why mainstream media, Ilhan, etc., Ilhan Omar, etc., will speak on violence of Muslim minorities but ignore atrocities against non-Muslim minorities? Well, because they're not focused on that. And if they did speak about everything else, then Muslims would accuse them of monkey balancing. Just like I speak on both sides, I speak against Hindus, I speak against atrocities committing against Hindus and Muslims. Then a lot of Hindus or Indians, they call me ISI agent, a monkey balancing act. For example, I can ask you the same thing about Suna Mahajan. Yeah, she's always talking about what Pakistan is doing to minorities in Pakistan, non-Muslim minorities in Pakistan, but she never says anything about what happens to Muslims in India. So it's the problem of everyone. So it's not just Ilhan Omar. And I think Ilhan Omar has actually spoken about homosexuals as well. So Ilhan, unless you're talking specifically about, I haven't been following it up a lot. Maybe Armin might have something more to add on that. But my point is, people are never happy. I'm speaking for everyone, and I still get accused of, he's just monkey balancing. He's just trying to appear neutral and blah blah blah. So you know what? You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you believe in, and it's just.
I don't think this is true, though. I don't think Ilhan Omar has been silent on other non-Muslim minorities.
She has been silent.
She hasn't. She's been.
Oh, okay.
So Ilhan Omar speaks about Black Lives Matter. So that's a minority. That's a non-Muslim minority. Ilhan Omar is very active when it comes to gay rights, trans rights. Very active. Those are mostly non-Muslim minorities. In fact, she has been speaking about those minorities at a huge cost because Muslims hate her.
They did takfir. Yeah, I covered that. Muhammad Hijab and these guys did takfir on her. They were like, when she sat on with Mehdi Hassan with Holes narrative guy. What's his name? Yasser. What's his name?
And she doubled down. Yeah. So Ilhan Omar gets more attacks by conservative Muslims than conservatives like right-leaning and anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim bigots. She actually gets more hate from her own community, okay? And in response, she doubled down. She doubled down on the whole, like, gay rights, trans rights, Black lives, and all of that. So, that's... If I want to criticize Ilhan Omar, the main thing I would criticize her is her silence over Turkey's genocide of Armenians. She was one of the very few politicians who didn't vote to consider among American politicians who didn't recognize that as a genocide. She does. So I don't know why she didn't do that, but that is something I could criticize her for. Again, I don't think these people are pure good or pure bad, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to criticize them, figure out exactly their position.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But even if she had done it, like as I said, people are never happy. They always accuse you of something. I'm sick and not actually sick and tired because I actually never paid any attention to what people say. I always end up doing my thing. But like when I post something where a woman in India is being tied to a tree and being beaten to pulp. And I put that up, and all the Hindu names, people with Hindu names, they come down and they defend it. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're monkey balancing. Why are you talking about that? Why don't you go look at issues in Pakistan?" And when I do that, and then and then Muslims say the same thing about India. Why don't you talk about Kashmir and blah blah blah? So it's like you can never win from these people. So you just got to do what you got to do. But as Armin said, try to find something that is actually true. So Ilhan Omar, I only remember that she did talk about. LGBTQ. So did Linda Sarsour, and also they have spoken about Black Lives Matter. So they have spoken about other things. But I also agree. I don't think these people are all good or all bad.
Yeah, I think they get a lot of attention by people because of their hijab, and I don't think that's fair. You know what I mean? Like, if this person with a worse position than Ilhan Omar was saying that without hijab, these people would be less upset about it than somebody with hijab. As much as I hate the hijab, I don't think you should judge somebody's position, how much you hate them because of the fact that they're wearing the hijab. You know, I don't think that's fair.
I want to quickly get your opinions on this thing. Let me share that. So I did cover that extensively in my last show, but I think I want to do it again. So our you remember Vidu, you remember him, our friend Nouman Ali Khan. He's going to Pakistan, and it's not for profit. You know, he openly said that this is for profit organization. Yeah. So Nouman Ali Khan, so he's doing this tour in Pakistani universities, various universities he's going to. And, 1,500 rupees ticket, which is, I think, $15, maybe $10, $10 US, something like that. Oh, no, hang on. Actually, yeah, probably $7 or $8. So he's going to be having this speaking tour there. And I did talk about it, but that's not where it ends. Some Pakistani feminists actually went after him and they tried to cancel him. Now, this is where I want your opinion. I mean, because you're against cancel culture. I've warmed up a little bit towards cancel culture. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay if it's my enemy. I wouldn't mind it because I know the sword is eventually going to fall on me as well. So may as well I'll take you down with me, or at least have sadistic pleasure in knowing that you're not doing so well either if I'm not doing that well. So, for example, this tweet of this girl, Huda, that went viral. I think it had thousands of retweets or whatever. She goes, Nouman Ali Khan is a known harasser and a hypocrite who is invited to speak at NUST University in Islamabad, NUST and LUMS, and there's so many others. Where is the morality brigade now? Do they want their children to learn how to make dua by becoming hot fantasy? Obviously, she's referring to that. She's referring to that text message. This one.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a funny. Where is that text message?
Wait, what was the text? What did he say?
Hi.
Where is that text? Damn it! Where is that text? Oh, hang on.
Is that his picture, shirtless?
Yeah, that's real.
That's him. Yeah. So no, but okay. So I've read it.
I don't care what you say.
Let me read some of his texts again. He goes, "I'll be your sugar daddy. I wish I was with you now. Nothing holding us back because I want you to work out with me. Obviously, in clothes that meet Sharia requirements. Like booty for Abdullah, that kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, did I show something else as well? Hang on a sec. Where is it? Why is it not showing? Okay, anyway, it's just gone blank. I really hate it. But anyway, so he I'll try to find this text message. But what do you guys think? Do you think that he first of all said, I'm coming to Pakistan, like how those wrestlers say, Vancouver, are you ready to hold the Rock? The Rock is coming. That kind of thing. So he's like, yeah, I'm coming to Pakistan. I have some major events in my life, and I'm coming to Pakistan. He's a Pakistani, I think. So what do you guys think that the Pakistani feminist is going after? By the way, this poor girl, I think her tweet went viral, and a lot of people, especially people from Hyderabad in India, that came after her. She got a lot of death threats and whatever. But I was a little bit happy that these low-key feminists in Pakistan, they are saying that, okay, we are they're making some progress and they're trying to cancel these people. But anyway, it didn't work. He's selling his tickets for 1,500 rupees. What do you guys think?
Listen, I think any man out there should be allowed to shoot his shot. My man wants to get laid just like anyone else. Don't let that beard fool you. Okay, he's going to Pakistan to find his hot fantasy. Okay, he's like, the economy's down. I'll be your sugar daddy, baby. Okay, just listen. I don't care if you're a mullah, if you're a priest, if you have a penis, you have two testicles in between your balls, you want to get laid, okay? And I think he got divorced or whatever it was, and he was looking for his... Huh? Oh, you're mute.
You're muted.
No, he wasn't divorced at that time. He actually told her to tell the imam that that we are divorced.
So was he trying to get a second wife or trying to replace the first?
Yeah. He was having a wife on the side. He was definitely cheating. But again, look, I mean, even cheating is not a crime. Okay, I give it to you. But the problem is, this is the same guy who was saying, on one hand, is telling people that, hey, you should, astaghfirullah, you should not shake hands, you should not even look at a woman, you should lower your arm. But here he is asking for her to dress up in sexy leggings, and maybe Sharia compliant, have the hijab, hijab for Allah, booty for Nouman Ali Khan, brother. That kind of thing. So it's just hypocrisy. I don't think he did anything criminal.
No.
But he did. But he's obviously being a hypocrite and taking his audience for a ride. And we're just trying to tell
consensual. It was consensual and everything.
Well, I think later on, the woman accused him that he took advantage, or like I was going through the dumps and blah blah blah.
She probably backtracked. She probably realized she got caught, and then she's like, "Oh, I was under his spell." All this kind of crap, right?
She did say that in this BuzzFeed article. I don't know why it's just all black. My screen is all black, but anyway, this is why I hate this freaking Firefox. But yeah, she said that I was down in the dumps, and he came to London, and then he gave me his number, and then we went back to the United States, and then I didn't have a job at that point, and then he said, "Hey, why don't you come and work for me?" And then she started working for him, and she thought that, I got my shit back together, but then he incrementally his flirting increased, and then that kind of thing happened. So I don't buy
his wife. I don't know if it's cheating. Maybe his wife knew. I don't know.
Nah, she didn't know. No, because he did file for divorce afterwards. He did file for divorce afterwards, and then he did apologize after that. So he's like,
listen. It's very funny taking the piss out of him, and haha, we caught you with your pants down, proverbially speaking. But at the same time, cancel culture is like, you make one mistake and you're gone for life. So this guy made a mistake. He realized he made a mistake. I don't now want to be the cancel culture on the other side, saying because he made a mistake, he can never appear in a mosque again, or he can't go to fine. Haha, you're right. You did something. You're a hypocrite. But guess what? He's a human being like everyone, just like everyone else.
I mean, if this is a standard for cancel culture, I should be canceled right now.
How many pictures you've been sending out to Armin the Sugar Daddy?
I do videos. I don't do pictures.
Okay. Now
they're taking screenshots. They're taking screenshots.
Yeah.
We do chat, by the way, guys. I don't even know how to answer this. Varun is saying time.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that.
Portfolio in textile industry.
I don't know.
We can't give you financial advice here, man. But
I don't know. No, but Varun, I don't think Varun needs anyone's.
Thank you for the $2, though. I appreciate that.
Keep them coming.
Don't knock back Varun. Varun has given us like $200 super chats as well. He once gave me $100 super chat to go and have a beef steak, go have a steak, because when I was threatened by
Varun, come do some super chats on the Secular Jihadists channel too.
He's mine. He's mine. But anyway, I'm having a very dry day with super chats. Anyway.
Oh, guys, do more super chats and
come on, guys, super chats, guys, come on. Anyways,
we should bring Oxymoron as well.
Yeah,
let's our fellow resident Hindutva.
Good.
Hi. Hello. Ask your question. Louder.
So I think last time around, Haris said that Haris was arguing that people should, the politicians should have a right to express their religion in parliament and when they are working. So now he's saying that there should be no free speech if politicians or political groups want to eliminate the free speech. Don't you think there's difference between the two?
There's no contradiction. I don't think there's any. I mean, I disagree with him on both, but I don't think there's a contradiction here. Are you noticing a contradiction? So, Harris, you said that you think politicians should be able to, like.
I'm not sure. I said that either. I was talking. I think you're talking about that. We were arguing about what's her name, Nupur Sharma. Yeah, we were saying that Nupur Sharma should be allowed to, if someone makes a religious claim, then she should be able to shoot down that argument. Where Armin's position was, no, she should be more careful about because it's not her place to get involved in religion for or against.
To be clear, Nupur Sharma was not acting as a
Yeah,
government. So I think
I'm
she
saying
should
if
be
she
able
was.
to say that. If she
Yeah.
was actually a politician at that point, then she shouldn't have. But she was.
Yeah.
Apparently, the BJP party is private and not paid by taxpayers, so she should be able to.
Yeah, so
should be able to say
yeah, but I'm saying even if she was, then even then I'm saying I would say if someone is making a religious claim, then even as a politician, I would say that it's probably not advisable. I mean, if you are clever like Andrew Tate and you can be a bit crafty, you shouldn't say it, but you should be allowed to say it. That was my argument. So that was argument number one. And number two, I'm not saying oxymoron that there's no free speech. I think that probably go and listen to the thing again. I'm saying the person who is striving to create a society that has no free speech should not be allowed to use free speech.
Yeah, where's the contradiction?
So I have a little bit of collectivist mindset. So I was thinking in this terms. So the people, the politicians, their job is to represent will of people. They don't really exactly represent the constitution. They are part of constitution. So basically, legislative body. It is so they can make whatever argument they want. And whatever they want. If someone wants to make a country a religious state, they should be able to make that argument because that is will of people. They aren't really hired for.
Wait. That's not the politician's job. Just do the will of the people. There's a limitation in a republic. There's a limitation to the will of the people. There's a constitution that limits that. A republic is not a pure democracy. A pure democracy means that a pure democracy is the dictatorship of the majority. A republic is a country, as a governmental structure where it has democratic elements, but it's not pure democracy. There will be some limitations on what the people can get.
Hear me out. So there's the constitution. In general, secular liberal democracy, there are three parts of constitution. There's legislative, there's judiciary, and there's
no, that's not three parts of the constitution. That's three parts of the government.
Yeah, basically the constitution functions through government.
Yeah, but the constitution is not divided in three parts in that way. The government is. So you don't say the constitution is divided in three parts. But go on.
Yeah. So they can make whatever claim they want, but it's for the judiciary to judge that constitution isn't violated. So it's up to judiciary to allow. They can make whatever they can.
No, they can't. No, not necessarily. We can decide that if any politician that wants to even says something like this or has a value like this, you could decide that politician should not be able to hold office. You could, like, for example, in Germany, right? If you are in support of the Nazis, it's illegal for you to be a politician. You could decide that. If you come and say like, "Hey, I like the Nazis. I used to like. I'm a fan of what the Nazis did." Right? In Germany, there's no argument for like people don't say like, "Oh, you're just making an argument. You should be able to make whatever argument." You're like, "No, sorry, you are barred from ever holding office and anywhere in the entirety of Germany. That's it. You're done."
But don't you think Germany should get away from its past and recover from its past and become more like US?
You can recover from your past by not letting Nazis into politics. But
US allows US might allow Nazis to be part of elected government. So don't you think that's the goal Germany should aspire to?
I mean, the US has. They'll allow Trump to be president.
No, come on. I was with you guys. You triggered me. I'm triggered. People don't give enough respect to my man DJ Trump.
But here's why I go back to my original claim that initially, Hizb ut-Tahrir guy, these people shout and they chant. They say, "Oh, I'm going to use freedom of speech to overthrow freedom of speech in this country or any country, whichever country they're living in." We just laugh at them. We throw peanuts at them. We're like, whatever. But and the US might allow them as well. Like if you're far right wing, white supremacist or whatever, you can hold elections, and it'd be concerning that hang on, you're coming to power now. Okay, but But the moment when it starts getting out of hand, then then some forces will come in and they say, okay, we need to slow down, we need to stop a bit. So Hitler, so in the case of Germany, obviously different era, but that's why they've had that, and they say no, we no way on earth we're ever going back there again. So it never happened in the United States, and this is why, like, if some commies go there and they say, hey, you know what, we're gonna do whatever. This is what I'm saying, like McCarthyism you're talking about, because they saw that, they thought that, okay, this is going to become an issue. And yes, back then there was a communistophobia all around. People were concerned because Trotsky was a big believer of spreading the communist ideology, even though Stalin probably wasn't. Huh? The Red Scare. No, but there was some truth in that as well. But anyway, but they had no Stalin had no ambitions in the United States, so that's a done and dusted argument. In fact, that was
empowered him.
Huh?
No. Okay.
No. But hunting of communists in America started back in the 30s as well. So like even in 20s and 30s, like it went all around, and then obviously up until JFK as well. So there was no Stalin at that time. But my point is the doctrine shifted in the promotion of communism. But anyway, so what you're saying is that, okay, well, they can, yes, sure, you can allow them, but trust me, when it starts getting out of hand, then people would say, okay, now hang on a second, you did this, we'll throw some other bullshit charge at you, and then we'll not let you contest elections.
Yeah, but I was just
it's completely fine to have limitations. Go on.
Even if politicians propose that there should be no free speech bill in Parliament, the bill, even if the bill is passed, the Constitution, the courts, they have power to reject the bill. So the Constitution, so the government takes the Constitution.
No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. No, it's okay to have checks and balances even before somebody becomes a politician. Okay, it's not a free speech issue. Free speech means that citizens have a right to say certain things. It doesn't mean that they have a right to say certain things and also be politicians regardless of what they say. You don't have a right to be a politician regardless of your views. You just have the right to not get arrested or fined for what you're saying, but not like that. That is not part of free speech. Part of free speech is not like, oh, I should be able to be president or a senator, even though like I have anti-Jewish views. No, that's not how it works. Okay, and also you can't be like, oh, let the politicians do whatever they want, pass whatever laws they want, and then you have the judicial system, the Supreme Court smacking it down every time that's not how it works. The Supreme Court gets involved. It's really hard. Like there's so many laws are passed, and the Supreme Court gets involved only a few times, or any high court gets involved in only a minor of them.
Suamoto.
It's a very what?
Yeah, called Suamoto action. So
and it's like it is a very, very long and slow process, and you can't, you need to make sure that there's some checks and balances within the legislative branch itself, not to just only rely on the judiciary branch. But we need to go to a super chat because
what did I tell you? Don't knock back Varun. Yeah, so this is what Varun was talking about. So the global Islamic clothing market size was estimated to be at 59.7. Well, that's just $60 billion in 2017. It might be 80 billion now. Actually, no, there was a pandemic. But anyway, like 60 billion. Okay, let's go with that. Some part of this was due to demand in hijab. So these hijab protests are bad for the industry. This is what I meant. It's supposed to be. Of course, he's just joking. So that's what he meant by so maybe we should not. Yeah, we should not buy any stock. Okay, this is just a joke. There's no financial advice. We're not giving you any financial advice.
I will tell you. Actually, you should think about it the opposite. Okay, because if you're not wearing the hijab now, what you're wearing under it becomes a lot more important. Okay, the hijab is especially for schoolgirls, it's just one outfit that you have to wear every day. If you take care of the schoolgirl outfit, okay, then every day girls have to wear different outfits because they want to now they have an excuse to dress up, and that takes a lot more fabric. So maybe you should actually this is a joke. Don't this is not an investment advice. So maybe actually invest more in the textile industry.
This is not an investment advice, but yeah, invest more in that.
Don't.
Thank you, Imran. Now, of course, we're joking, guys. This is just a joke,
Yes.
and this is a lighthearted joke. There's no.
That's $50. Thank you so much
I
for a
have-
$50 super chat. That's amazing. Okay, go on. Last question.
I have one
Last point.
Oh, I wanted to talk about Russia, but can I elaborate on this one a little bit?
Sure.
Okay.
So India has cow slaughter laws. So there's a history that consistently show that the Muslim side has been using cow slaughter as political tool of political messaging, just like swastikas are banned in Germany. So do you think that it is expected from Indians from a lot of secular institutions that they should get over this? I think even in 1971, the genocide, the cow slaughter was used as a tool of political messaging to threaten Hindus. So don't you think that
What's the
it's
question?
right
I don't understand.
right for India to ban cow slaughter and expect Hindus to get over this?
No.
Should I say? I don't know. So can you just summarize the question at the end?
Yeah.
without the
Try
context?
to say it in one sentence, because like the way you phrase your questions, like by the time you get to the end of it, we forget where the beginning of it was. Like, can you phrase it like more clearly?
Just
In one
like
sentence.
Germany bans the Nazi symbols, do you think that India should is it right for India to ban cow slaughter?
Why?
Neither of them
No.
is okay.
But cow slaughter definitely not.
Definitely.
Because A is false equivalence. One's a political thing, the other is a religious thing. One has caused a lot of trauma to humanity. The other one, you could argue that it's causing trauma to animals. Okay, fair enough. But it is still a food source. So has the world decided that animals should not be used as a food source? But the world can decide that we should not be killing people on the basis of their race. So the world has decided that. So I think that the two things are just totally unrelated to each other, and you can't use one for
Something
the
came
other.
across my mind that will literally get us banned from YouTube in half a second if I said
Don't
it.
say
So
it.
remind me. I won't say it, but remind me to say it after we go off that.
I don't want to get rid of my channel.
Yeah, okay, I won't say it. But
Okay.
Okay.
So Haris, the Muslim rulers, they used to cut the cows in temple. They used to paint the idols with the cow blood. So, and this has been deliberate. There's a clearly established pattern that the pattern is linked to the genocide and humiliation of Hindus. This has been a
that's
consistent
such a
trend.
foul.
So,
Oh my God, this is
Oh
such
my
a stretch
God.
oxymoron. Yeah,
Like,
such
I
a
mean-
stretch. You're
It's-
comparing this to the Holocaust. Oh my, I can't say.
So you say, hang on. So let me tackle that again. So you're saying that, okay, so Muslim used to do this 300 years ago. Okay, you know. By the way, we've also heard that Hindus used to throw pig blood in front of mosques in India. We've heard it. I don't know. Like, I mean, but that even if that happened, that doesn't mean that Muslims should stop Hindus from eating pork if they did eat that, but not that they eat it. But I'm just saying that just to find equivalence here. So you're saying that, okay, 300 years ago they did that, and now therefore they should not be allowed to eat beef today. It just doesn't follow. There's a classic non
Yeah,
sequitur.
it doesn't. I know, Oxymoron, that was the last point.
no,
you were
there's
saying.
a consistent pattern. This is not 300 years ago. This is in 1920s. This is in 1971.
Okay, it
the
doesn't follow.
Bangladesh
It
genocide.
still doesn't follow. Even if it's happening now, where some Muslims are doing that, that would not be that would not become the foundation for you to say that, okay, well, you should not eat beef
It doesn't-
altogether.
Yeah,
It doesn't follow.
So Ambedkar did
No,
say
we're
that,
done. We're done. Like, we answered.
Okay.
Okay. We have to, guys. I want to make sure Vidu comes back here because
Yeah, we don't want to. He's getting
we
bored.
don't
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
He's like, what is this cow BS bullshit?
Sorry, Oxymoron, I think we answered the question. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we have. Okay.
All right. We should end the stream here, so that
Yeah.
because if we go longer, Vidu wouldn't come. next time.
do you want to talk about the Russia thing, the India-Russia thing?
Maybe next time we'll talk about it
Next time we will talk about the
Yeah.
Russia. Next
Yeah,
time
it would be there.
now.
And I'm in on Secular Jihadists, the Twitter timeline. I'm just writing the apology for the Hita. before
I don't
going
even
to
hear-
the
what?
justification.
We can't hear you. Speak up.
Can you message me
Okay.
about this? Oh,
Okay, I'll message you.
thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All
Thank you. All right. Thank you for that. All right. This was amazing. We should, Vidu, you should like decide some of the topics that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, because I know you. Because I know in your WhatsApp group you send us a lot of a lot of these topics. This guy said him, Jimmy. I reckon we should get Jimmy as well. These guys have a lot to say, and to be honest, and I was wondering, and I was thinking, you know what? There are some topics that we are naturally scared to talk about. And we're not scared to talk about Talibanization or ISIS or we can and those are the people who can literally kill us. I mean, if they could, they would. But we're not. We're more scared of these woke issues than we are of Taliban. Now that says a lot about wokes, in a way. So this guy wants to talk about it. I don't know if it's some. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we can do that on your channel, okay? So we can risk his channel.
Wait, Harris, me and Vidu and Jimmy had a very, very and Susanna, okay? We were at the and Mimsy. We had a very interesting discussion about these topics, conversation about these topics. And I was like, it was
Munich.
me against all, right? Like I was, I don't know, I'm not going to mention what the topic was because maybe Vidu is not comfortable.
Where was it? Was it Munich? No. Where were we?
Cologne. Why do you
Cologne.
forget the name of the city?
I don't know. I keep forgetting Cologne. No, yeah, Cologne. We were
Cologne.
We had some very interesting conversation.
That was a very heated debate, wasn't it? That was pretty good.
It was. I think.
Which one are you talking about?
You know what? I really enjoyed it because I think I even read a comment on this when you two were debating about the whole free speech stuff. Like, I have no problem, and in fact, I think all of us, you, Haris, Jimmy, Susanna, all of us guys, when we debate, we really go the whole way, and we don't hold anything back. But the moment the debate ends, it's like we're best friends, we're brothers, whatever it is, and I think that's the spirit that I really like. So I think we were debating the trans stuff. That was a big thing. I think another thing in the whole, I know you covered it on your Atheist Republic channel as well, was the whole feminism nonsense kind of thing as well. The joke I made, or that whole segment, whatever it was. There's a lot of female/trans kind of issues that have crept in, and I think there is an undercurrent of men and women in this secular space that is a bit like, really, did you have to say that? It's just like and I think you've mentioned this before as well, that I am quote unquote traditional or whatever, atheist and traditional, which is not necessarily a very big like, if there's a Venn diagram, it's not that big in terms of overlap.
Conservative by today's standards.
Yeah. So I think there, you know what it is like. Actually, I'm not going to say it. But yeah. So
why are you scared? Why are you scared?
Not scared. I think this is near the end of the stream. I don't want to open up a whole new thing.
I want to know now. I want to know again.
Nah, yeah, okay.
Maybe. In that one time I interviewed you, Armin, in the UK with Mimsy, and you were talking about it then, about marriage and that kind of stuff. And I think we spoke about it then as well. Like, as an institution, does marriage work? If once you've left religion, there's no compulsion to get married, but I still think there is a benefit in marriage and having children inside wedlock, all that kind of stuff. And then that goes on to, actually, I don't want to say it, but that goes on to, for example, if you look at the majority of criminals, majority of men that kill themselves, majority of all the people that are in the shadows of society, a majority of them come from single parent households, right? And no
correlation is not causation.
Yeah, can you prove the causation?
The psychologist, the social, whoever you can do your own research.
Jordan Peterson is a psychologist as well. So psychology is not.
Peterson. This is pre-Peterson.
No. I know that.
No, but Peter is right. Peter is right.
Okay, I get it, but no, I've heard this argument, so I want to say something. So yes, you could draw that comparison. You can say, okay, well, kids in so-called broken homes have, like, they have more propensity towards violence or unsuccessful lives, as we like to call them. So you could argue that, but there would be, and I always use this example. For example, in conservative countries, like let's just say Pakistan or India, when being a bastard kid, yeah, now that was something like whoa, and kids would tease him, and that would have a negative impact because it was considered a bad thing. So where divorce was not normalized, where children before marriage were not normalized, that was an outlier, and that people would say, oh, hang on, this is bad. So of course it's going to have a negative impact on child's psyche, and then he might be a bit messed up when he grows up. So that's why the solution is not to ban bastard kids or kids outside of wedlock. No. The solution is to normalize it. So same goes with marriages as well. Like, the broken homes, like you say that, oh, the broken home, dad wasn't there, mom wasn't there, or they weren't together. So that's not the problem. The problem is making kids realize, or making as a society making a statement that, hey, this is not normal, and therefore that's going to have a negative impact on the kid. So we should actually normalize divorces because, and I know what I'm going to say, because we have seen the kind of society that comes out when we don't normalize divorces is like abusive relationships. Wives put up with abusive husbands.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Unhappy marriages.
I agree with that.
So
I
reckon we'll have when we have a level playing field, when we have, okay, fine, hey, look, Stephen, what's the name? Anyway, whatever. Steve and Tom, they have a little boy. Okay, fine. Okay, if that is not considered weird, or like if in a world that's normalized, let's say 100 years from today, then I'd like to see when everything is normalized, when we have level playing field, then I'd say, okay, then I would take the psychologist studies seriously. We know that it is because it's been created. It's shameful to come from a family where that daddy wasn't around. So there you go. So the kids, of course, kids going to be messed up in that case.
But we do, like, what studies shows that for healthy kids, for healthy, like, mental health and all, you need 2 parents present. Okay, but this is far away from what the conservatives are demanding, because the 2 parents could be 2 men.
I don't together.
Like, so I'm not arguing a Christian conservative or a Muslim conservative.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you're right though, right? Like, having 2 fathers, 2 mothers, or a father or mother stable, even outside of a marriage. Like, if you happen to have a father and a mother present in a family that is not legally married, that you will still have those effects of having a stable, for the kids. So I think
the larger problem, if I'm honest with you, is the fact that 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's going to increase. Okay, so that for me is a massive, massive issue. What is it that between men and women? Now you could say in the old world, what do you call it? People were
dependency.
Forced.
No, but women were dependent on men.
They were kept that way. But more than that,
this is more of an economical change that is causing a cultural change. Okay,
I agree. But let me flesh it out. I agree with the social, the stigma around getting divorced, and women, it was hard for them to remarry again, and they didn't have a job or qualification. They're like, oh shit, I'm stuck by myself. So they used to tolerate bad marriages because the alternative was so much worse. Fine, I understand that. But now one would like to think that both men and women have a more equal level playing field in terms of money and resources and opportunities. So when you do go into a marriage, it seems like half of them fail. And even if you do have kids inside a marriage, like even if you get divorced at like 13 or 14, that still messes you up. I mean, Mimsy, her parents got divorced later on in life. It still has an effect, right? And that's quite common in many families. So I'm thinking, what is it that between men and women, what is not working? You can't tell me that if you go into an agreement or an arrangement and 50% of the time you invest so much resources in the marriage and the house and this and that, and half the time...
I can tell you what's not working.
Whatever I would like to know what that is and fix it.
I can tell you what's
have a conversation about. Go on.
I can tell you what's not working is because we are not monogamous by nature. So have a look at all the couples who are still together after 50 years. Ask them when was the last time they were intimate, or ask them, like, fair enough. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but now, because we live in a world where we have more options, where you're not the only, like, you live in small village where okay, it's hard to find another woman and be compatible with her as well. Now, okay, our society's got bigger and bigger, but now we have social pressures that like a one man, one wife kind of thing. So people were like, oh, man is like, yeah, I really like her, but no, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to bring shame to my family. The woman is also thinking the same thing. Oh no, hang on, no. So they're suppressing. They're not happy necessarily. I reckon my human's goal should be happiness. Okay, so 10 years later, you say, okay, you know what, honey, darling, I really love you, and I do love you, but I want more from life, and let's end it amicable way. We have got 2 kids or whatever. Let's share the custody. I'll be there for the baby. You'll be there for the child, and let's make this work together.
Okay,
that's how it should work.
If that's the problem, then the solution is open marriages.
Yeah, and open marriages fail like hell.
Relative to
vast majority of them fail. Vast majority.
Well, don't the vast majority of marriages fail in general?
What have a marriage?
Well, it's half, but I mean, if you think marriage is bad, open marriage, well, that's not the solution to conflict.
What happened? I'm just saying. Why have marriage, no marriage, de facto, whatever? Like, I mean, just why have the social stigmas attached to it?
Because the government makes it easier for you to deal with each other, like if you have the paperwork.
Yeah,
like you're like, oh, why do I need it? Because I used to think that, but then I realized like a whole bunch of things that we need to do together. I need the paperwork.
No, I get it. No, I get it. But I think this is why, again, like government gives you protection like prenups as well. Like, I mean, I'm just saying that's a right. That's a right, emotional right. You just take it. And then, when shit hits the fan, when shit hits the fan, then, well, bad luck, deal with it. She takes half of
we
it.
We need a new structure to marriage. We need temporal marriage.
But we do have de facto. But we do have de facto.
You are such a Shia.
We need marriage contracts.
Years ago.
We need marriage contracts. We need marriage contracts that expire in 5 years unless you renew them.
But anyway, so my point is, normalize divorce. Don't see it as a bad thing. And if kids see this, oh, okay, mom and dad are not together, that's fine, that's normal. No one's going to see that as a bad thing. And then kids should have strong mothers and fathers instead of weak couples, weak parents together. So like, I mean, I don't see that as a bad thing. I think like you live nearby and you don't.
The solution is the chosen. We had the extensive family. Then, because of the Industrial Revolution, we went to the nuclear family. The solution is to now a new model for family, which is the chosen family. That's the next step.
And it's coming. Video is coming. Don't worry about that.
Well, what is it?
We're gonna make less and less babies even in the future, and I think the state is gonna take.
Is the people you want to hang out with that is irrelevant of your blood relationship.
Bro, I'll tell you that now. That is a recipe for bloody child
disaster.
Or not. You want to go down? The amount of child abuse that happens from step parents, especially step is just like if you want your child to be like raped, either send them to Catholic church or have a stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think kids. Kids.
Of course, they are great stepdads. I'm not trying to, but whatever.
I think we should. I agree with you.
No offense to the stepdads in the live chat.
I'm sorry. Well, shit, I'm not sorry because you might be. I don't know. Anyway, I'm like, well, actually, am I sorry? I'm sorry.
I reckon. I want to say this. I genuinely think so. Whatever you're proposing, but that should always be with kids in sight, whatever law should be correct. And I reckon your step parents that's especially with stepdads. I reckon this porn culture has. I reckon this porn culture has distorted as well.
Stepdad, I'm stuck in the microwave or the. Here I come.
My hand's stuck in the sink. Oh
my god.
Armin is gone. But that's a recipe for disaster. I reckon. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got to make a move on that note because I feel like I'm getting into more and more trouble. This is the problem with me being on a live stream. I just don't know when to stop. So I'll leave you guys to it.
Next time, video will come and list about trans issues. Next time we come.
Oh man, I'm so bored of trans issues. Honestly, like 1% of 1% of the population.
Okay, what do you pick? You pick.
Varun is right. Subscription is better model than marriage.
Subscription is better. That's fair enough. Okay, we can talk about marriage. We can talk about marriage and man-woman issues.
Cancel it. Cancel it after 6 months.
Have a renewal option.
Do not auto renew.
Renewal option. Yeah. All right, guys, I better make a move.
All right.
So,
See you, mate.
All right. See you next time. Bye.
Friendly Muslim. Marriage is a dinosaur.
Oh, sorry. Dinosaurs? Marriage? What happened?
Guys, we have food chain. Human is an omnivore. Cow is an animal. Animal body structure is protein. Humans eat protein. Nothing. Thank you, Varun. Yeah, that was in relation to the earlier comment. Friendly Muslim, let's last call. How you doing?
Just what was the solution to the marriage problem? Was it mutter marriage? Was it multiple wives?
Open marriages. Open marriages. Open marriages.
Oh no. Yes.
Yes.
No, I'm saying whatever. Like whatever floats your boat. You know, just do it. But there should not be any stigmas attached to the exit clause. That's what I'm saying. There should not be any stigmas.
Make it an expectation that it's going to be temporary, so that the kids don't get traumatized when it happens. And if it's not temporary, it's just like, oh wow, you're actually staying together. Make that a surprise instead of making divorce a surprise. Make staying together a surprise, so that the kids are not traumatized.
Yeah.
Easy to get divorced or not easy to get divorced? What are your thoughts on that?
Not only easy to get divorced, make it so that they expect it. Like from the very like AI kids, we're gonna get from the very beginning. Mom and dad are together for 5 years, and then we're gonna go our own way. Like make that the norm at the beginning, and then if you end up being together, we're like, oh, we don't know what happened. This was not supposed to happen. How about that?
Say if they're done after 3, I don't think that's a. Is that putting an expectation on something to fail rather than an expectation of working towards whatever problems you have?
But who says it's fail? No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, why even consider a divorce as a failure? I don't agree with this term.
Normalize it.
I reckon if a couple stays on for the rest of their lives, I think that's a failure because we're not biologically designed to be with one person.
No, I would say if you're forced to stay together, like through a marriage contract, then that's a failure. But if you're not forced to, and then you just happen to decide to stay together for some reason, that's not a failure. Like if you just like it's working out, I guess.
Look, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look, I mean, this is why I just look at the animal kingdom. You know, like the penguins and birds, and then there's tigers and bears, and you know, like I mean, chimpanzees and bonobos. We look at it, we don't know
we're different, Harris.
Yeah. Not always, not in everything. We poop, we sweat, we have lust, we have.
But
we can intellectualize things.
We have long-term plans. They don't.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. So this is when your intellect collides with your instincts. So your intellect tells you, don't do this, don't bang your secretary, because if you did it, you're gonna, lose your house, and you're gonna do it. So this is intellect coming, but his instinct is saying, no, I want to have an affair with
my instincts are also no. I'm saying our instinct is also thinks about long term, unlike other animals. Like this is also
not instincts like sex.
Our brain is wired differently from other animals. We think very long term.
Not when it comes to sex, man. I don't know. You know all these cheaters.
No, but we're not
like
marriage is not just about sex, Harris. We're not
looking.
But we're looking for a life partner. We're not just looking for somebody to fuck.
Initially, it does start off with that. Initially, the sexual attraction is the main object.
Like the reason why you stay with somebody is not because this is.
That's afterwards. Yeah, but that's afterwards. But this is why people change. No, but this is what I'm saying. But this is why people cheat. You know, they're in a happy relationship, but then they go find someone else.
I'm just saying, if somebody stays with somebody for 50 years, it's not going to be because of their constant supply of pussy. It's going to be a constant supply of meaning and partnership in life.
Yeah, I know that, but at the same time, he's suppressing his basic instincts to fuck that neighbor's girl, but he's not doing it because he loves his wife so much.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying we're agreeing.
But you did disagree with me, initially. Yeah, but you did disagree with me. Here's my claim. Listen, Armin, if you listen. This is why I brought in the animal argument. I said, you said we're intellectual. We're not just we don't just act on our instincts. I'm saying our instincts can clash with our intellect.
I didn't say okay, so you didn't listen, okay? This is not about being intellectual, okay? I'm saying we have two contradictory instincts. Okay, one that is like most other animals.
You didn't say that before.
Huh? No, I said
you
this
didn't say
is
that
instinct.
before.
No, what I said is that this is an instinct. This is not an intellectual argument. Our desire to think about long term is also part of our instinct. Unlike, this is an instinct that we have as humans, as animals, that other animals don't have. Other animals don't think like long term future. So this is not us being just intellectual.
But the long term does not come in every equation. But it certainly doesn't come in the equation that I'm discussing. I'm discussing, you see a hot girl. I'm just talking about men's psyche. He's in a relationship. Yeah, so exactly. That was my whole argument. This is why I brought in the animal example.
Okay, I agree. I agree. I'm just adding something to it. Okay, as humans,
that was irrelevant. You don't need to add it.
Oh my God. Okay.
No, because it complicates the original argument more.
I guess it is complicated. I'm just saying we have contradictory feelings that comes from our instincts. Okay, it's not intellect versus instinct. It's an instinct versus instinct. Okay, when we are looking at a hot secretary, okay, and like, should I cheat on my wife or not? Okay, it's one instinct that is your sexual instinct that is like a lot of other animals. Okay, but it's another instinct that humans have. It's about meaning and purpose and long-term plans in the future, and you thinking about all of that going to down the drains. And that's another instinct that humans have that is like in contradiction to that other one.
I don't know if that's an instinct. I think it's just it's just an offshoot of us being able to think that way because we just have bigger brains. I don't think if you want to call that instinct, but either way, I think it's the same thing.
The desire for meaning and mattering is instinctual in humans. You don't like even humans without intellectualizing it. Like from the very moment that you're in a tribe, you want to look like a tribe, because your ego manifests itself in a way that the tribes, like you look at how the tribe sees you, and you want to match, you want to fit in, right? So that is humans recognizing their place in society and them mattering to others without even intellectualizing it. So I do think that's partly instinct. Other animals don't have that. You as a human look at yourself, your place in society, your meaning of life without intellectualizing. All humans have that desire, right? So when you here's what people are afraid, like when your wife divorces you, okay, the reason why you're depressed is not like, oh, I have less sex now, okay? What you're afraid at that moment is like, I'm going to die alone. I'm going to be on my deathbed, and there's going to be nobody to hold my hand while I'm dying. That image scares the shit out of you, and it might scare the shit out of you more than not having sex.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, and yeah, but that's an intellectual part. This is your thinking about it. So your thought is overtaking and is telling your instinct, calm down, mate. Just go play with yourself instead. Otherwise, you're going to just ruin your house. your future plans. Right, friendly Muslim?
Friendly Muslim, again, with the theme of every time he comes here, we're talking about sex. Yeah, no, every time. Why does this happen?
Yeah, anyway, I think we need to... It's 3 hours. Let's wrap it up. I don't know what friendly Muslim is on mute.
Yeah, I don't know. Devil is saying, no, Armin, that applies when you're 50. It starts showing up when you're getting your
Devi Prasad. Devi.
It starts showing up. Oh, Devi. The opposite of what I said. So, yeah, it starts showing up in your 30s and it starts increasing, Oh,
it dropped out. Yeah. I don't know. I'm in my 30s. It's not showing yet.
Anyway, that's because you're a child, Harris. That's because you're a child.
Trust me. I know I'm in my 30s. All right. Well, I think I reckon we had some really good arguments. I liked it. I mean, I think we were at each other's throats. You said it before the show started. You said, "Oh, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit more." I was taking you, like you were going easy on me. I was like, bring it on, son. No easy on each other. Like we did good. And I think Armin video came as well. I think it was interesting. So yeah, we're gonna do it. I was gonna talk about something. I was just gonna anyway, I forgot. Doesn't matter. I think this is it. Armin.
Yes, this is it. Okay, guys, make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, hit the bell notification, and become a patron on Harris Sultan's Patreon and Secular Jihadists Patreon. Either one is fine. Or if you can't support us financially, you could also become a YouTube channel member on any of these channels. But if you can't support us financially, your likes actually helps us grow. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel grow. So please don't leave without liking this video. go ahead, do ahead and do it. And guys, it's like we spent 3 hours here talking. It takes half a second for you guys to like it. So I don't understand why so many people watch these videos and don't like it. Like, this video is haram to you if you have not liked it. Okay, we have to be answerable in the afterlife. All right, guys, bye.
Bye.